Which is the thing. All right, we are live. Okay, so
we can swear now, can we?
And I pulled the leaders, but we need to look at the leaders and make sure there's no at start things we got to do for the leaders. So Norse, I'm going to be the so I'll be the Norse, and they're fine. James, you'll be Umayyads, are yellow, and they have no special. You got to keep in mind for this turn, so you need to worry about that. And then Pork, I'm going to be green, although I looked at the map and I laughed because you'd set them up. They're Persian Empire already. So I'll be them, and special, add Fatimid, Cylinder, and Revolt in Syria at start of Epoch 3. So I'm going to do that. So it's Cylinder and a Revolt to Syria, which also just costs the Abbasid Syria. Okay. That's always good. And then Pork, you're the Abbasids.
Yeah.
And they have Anarchy at Samarra, which sucks. So they add a Revolt to Baghdad at the start of the third epoch, so I'll put that in there. So you got to take care of that too. Byzantines will be you again, James.
I lose control of Baghdad then as well.
All right. So James, you got Basil the Macedonian there for your guy for the Byzantines. And then Pork, you're also the Franks, right? So it'll be the Treaty of Verdun. So you get a pick. You got to add revolts into 3 places, and they can either be Saxony, East Francia, and Bavaria, or they can be West Francia, Normandy, and Burgundy.
Okay, hold on a second. I can quick look at this. I'm just going to drag it onto the map just to see. So, sorry, what were the second three? They're slightly cards, kind of West Francia, Burgundy, and Lombardy, is it?
West Francia, Burgundy, Lombardy. Yep, that's right.
Let me see. Okay, let's do the. Here, I may as well just get the pieces. So, cubes. These are revolts, yeah?
Yeah, orange ones, yeah.
Okay, let's go Lombardy, West Francia, and Burgundy.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
So that bit's done, and then now we can play. So black goes first. Bagratuni Kings of Armenia is the event card that's up. This one here, Bagratuni Kings. So that's the A card, and then Safford Rebels are B, and Hungarian Raids are C.
Okay, so the event says replace all neutral pieces in Armenia with Byzantine or opposite pieces, or replace all Byzantine or opposite pieces in Armenia with neutral pieces. And currently in Armenia, there are
2 neutrals, and that should be flipped off of it. Missed that one.
Cube and a cylinder. So I don't know if James, how much you've seen of this, but I don't know, Phil, do you want to explain what the cubes and the cylinders represent?
Cubes are military. You can march with them. You can fight with them with campaigns. You can do raids with them. So raids let you hit the adjacent province or line of communication. And they count for control too of the area. And that's about it. So they're more limited. But they're also easier to get on the map because you can just muster them as an action and add them as long as you have the money to pay for them. And then cylinders are soft power, and they work kind of like the coin cylinders where you flip them active, like if you want to do something with them. And then on the menu, on the play raids, there's like a menu kind of like coin for each faction. But the soft cylinders, you need to do a bunch of those actions, especially your special ones. So they're really valuable, and they also count as control of a place, and they're harder to remove because they can take 2 hits basically. The only faction that can add them to the map with an action is green, so they're also hard to get back if you lose them. So in the long run, the cylinders are more important than the cubes. So like this card is good for Abbasids or for anybody really, or for Abbasids or Byzantines, because on top of taking the cube, you get a cylinder, which is big.
Oh yes, okay.
Yeah, and you would get Armenia, and there's a lot of. I think Pork was thinking about taking this when we were playing last time as the Abbasid.
Yeah, I was, yeah. I didn't realize I would suddenly lose Syria and Baghdad at the start of this epoch, but however.
Yeah, and so
But
you have to, like the revolt, James is a cube. It's an orange cube, but then that counts for control, area control. So like when we put the revolt in Baghdad, the black doesn't have majority control anymore. So
Oh, I see. Yes,
they either have to get another piece in there or get rid of that revolt to control it. And then the discs are sort of like the coin bases, and they're kind of like cultural improvement type of things. But their benefit is you can add an extra cube there when you muster, so you can get more cubes in places where you have discs. So like you have the Byzantines, and they have 2 discs in Constantinople. So usually when you muster to add cubes, you use the muster rating, which is the MUS stat on your leader card, and you would get like 1 cube in each location. But because you have the 2 bases in Constantinople, you can get the 1 muster plus 1 for each base, so you can get 3 total cubes each time you muster in Constantinople, for example. And bases have to be taken out of a location last, too, so they help you control locations, too.
Oh, yes, yeah.
okay, so I think I'm going to forego the event because I am slightly worried about Baghdad and all those Fatimas in Persia.
That you set up.
Yeah, that I set up pretty much the last time. So come back to bite me in the ass. So I can't muster in Baghdad because I don't have control, or in Syria. So I'm really going to have to reposition pieces probably and march them around.
Yeah.
So march on the opposite primary action is obviously march the cylinders or cubes, move cubes and cylinders to any one adjacent space. Now I must have to remember, and I think that special march action the opposites had goes after Epoch 2, does it?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I've set my mind on it, so it's just going to be a special. Yep.
Okay. So what I'll do then? Yeah, I can march to the adjacent, basically, effectively. Yeah. So okay, so and it's $1 per destination.
Yep.
So let's go primary and special, and I have I'm rich, $29.
Yep.
So I can march around a bit. So let us march from Cilicia into Al Jazeera, and then that existing cube in Al Jazeera from there to Baghdad to get back control of Baghdad.
Yeah.
So if I clone that and put that in here, I have control again. Yeah. I'll also march another cube from Cilicia into Syria. Actually, 2 into Syria.
Okay.
To regain control of that. Okay. So that would be 2. I should really mark these locations, shouldn't I? Just for, let me just so I know for counting purposes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 1, 2. Let me see. Yeah, let's march 1 more piece from Najd into. Or do I want to do that? No, I'm going to put 1 piece from Najd onto the Hajj route, which is here, I believe.
Yep.
Okay. Which doesn't lose me control, so that would be a location there. And is there anywhere else I would like to march? Not for the moment. So let me just have a quick look at my special actions before I do anything. Enable space for blah blah blah. Okay. Okay, here's a question, Phil. The Mola action where you convert pieces to your own with the cylinders.
Yep.
Does that include revolts, or is it just specifically military units? It is. Okay.
Yep.
So, Okay, so in any province, I have it. In any province, that's just one province, or is it any province I can do it with multiple cylinders?
Any number of them, but you can only use one cylinder in each province you do it in. So if you have like two, you know what I mean? If you have like two black cylinders together, you can only impact one piece in that space.
Okay,
But
so that's
you can
good.
do it in Syria and Cilicia, and I'm not sure where else you have them, but
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So in Syria, I'm going to replace the revolt there with a opposite cube.
okay.
There, and then in Cilicia, get rid of that piece, and we will replace with an opposite cylinder.
Yep.
Cylinder. There we go. Was it there? And I marched to 3 locations, which would cost me $3. Let me just delete these. And I shift from 29 down to 26. And I am done.
You're rolling.
Well, I'm what's the word? Not reconciling. I'm trying to reorganize.
Yeah, but just with the game though, you seem to be no problem. So that's good.
Yeah, I got there.
Yeah. Okay, James. So Umayyads are up next. You're yellow. And they can do a limited. So a limited is you can pick any of the actions, any of the primary actions, any of the special actions, but you can only do it in one space.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one option. Other option is you take the event, which is the Bagatuni Kings. It doesn't really help you, but it might be something that purple or black would be willing to pay you to take, I would think. And then the third option is you can pass. And you can't get to the Safford Rebel card you won't be able to pass to because the blue, purple, and red will play in that one. But the Hungarian raid card, if you wanted that one, you could pass over to first place for that. You'd get $1, and then you'd be first player on that card, on the Hungarian raids card, if it appealed to you.
I'll just take a look at the. Okay.
Now, as the opposites, I would happily pay you to put opposites into Armenia, but I think you've probably got plenty of cash at the moment. I think you're at 20, aren't you?
Yes.
I think it's 20 or 19, yeah.
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 Umayyads have 20. And the Umayyads, so your leader gives you goals to earn victory points each epoch.
Yes.
Yeah. See, it's like control Kurtuba, 2 or more discs, control 7+, econ 10+, control all of Spain. So the econ 10+ is always a Umayyad goal. Like every epoch, you're going to want that. So when thinking about making money, that's the big thing. But like Pork said, at 20, you have enough to play your turn, I would think.
Are these goals? I'm just going to pull the card onto the center of the table and take a bit of a look at it. Are these goals, or are these... So when you're saying econ 10+, is that if I have an economy of 10 or greater, I'm getting rewards for that? Is that it? Or
yeah, you get one. So at the bottom, underneath the economy track, is a victory points track. And if you hit the goal, you get 1 victory point.
I see. Okay.
So, but you got to be there at the end of the epoch turn, which is variable, like within the last 4 cards of the turn. This end of epoch comes out, and then we do an end of epoch phase. And the first thing you do in that phase is you score your victory points.
Okay. So seizing Cortuba and seizing Spain would be 2 immediate objectives. Yes. And I see, is it Andalus, not Andalus? There to is that Galicia to the northeast? I'm trying to think back to my geography from Crusader Kings.
Yeah, I call it the Spanish Marches.
Or northwest, I meant to say, actually.
Oh, Asturias.
Yes, Christians. That's it. Yes.
Yeah.
In the last epoch, I sent Frankish peacekeepers in there.
Oh, very good. Yes, it can be problematic if the Umayyads push too far up into France. That's caused trouble, I believe, before. And the other thing is there is a revolt just outside Cairo, east of
that's in
Cairo,
Egypt.
which is an area that I control. Well, no, I don't control because nobody controls it at the moment. But it's two neutrals and a revolt.
Correct. Yep. And Egypt. So Egypt, each location has a number and a letter.
Mm-hmm.
So the number is the economy rating. 3 is the highest.
Okay.
So that's how much income you get if you control that region and administer it at the end of the epoch.
Yeah.
So Egypt is a prize the whole game, and then the B is like the terrain, like the communications rating. So when you campaign there, the lower that is, the more likely you are to lose a piece there when you're fighting there. So C is the worst, A is the best. And then also it impacts how many pieces you can turn if you want to do a subjugate. So in a B, you can do a subjugate, but you need 2 cubes to, like, say, reveal 1 cylinder. It costs 2 cubes. You need to have 2 cubes there to reveal a cylinder. Or you can remove the revolt by subjugating there, but you need 2 cubes there to do the revolt. So you couldn't do both right now. So that's my long way of getting there. And then we kind of spread the Umayyads out last turn. So Egypt, you can control, and then you obviously get that good income from it. There's a cylinder on the Hajj route here, which is like a line of communication. So that's a separate space. I'll zoom in maybe.
Okay.
And the Hajj route's worth 3 econ. So it's in a high econ space. But Porg just moved a cube onto that, so you don't control that anymore. But if you control that at the end, you can take the money from that. It's also just a good place to hide cylinders if you want cylinder in the area. And then you have Sicily too, and that's also a 3. And that was pirates or something made Sicily happen. I can't remember exactly how they got there. But then we have this pawn because we took an event called Aglabids. And Aglabids means Ifriqiya and Cilicia are Sicilia. Sorry, there's a Cilicia. Sicily and Ifriqiya are adjacent to each other now for the rest of the game. I just don't have a counter for it. So you can march your yellow cubes into North Africa if you want. And vice versa, the Byzantines can march there. So.
Oh, interesting.
And that's just all kind of come out with the cards and stuff.
To keep things moving, what I, as the Byzantine player, would like to do is to take the event and switch it for Byzantine, but I don't think you're supposed to think that way. So as the Umayyad player, what I'll do is I'll take the limited event and subjugate the revolt. Is this a valid strategy?
Yeah, definitely.
In Egypt?
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets you back control of Egypt then, yeah.
Gets you control of Egypt. And you can muster there now because you have control and there's no revolt. And then if you hold it at the end, you'll get the income from it. So, yeah, definitely.
So I'm spending, if I'm correct, I'm on the economy and I'm moving him down to 19.
Yep.
What do I actually need to do here? So it says remove a revolt or reveal hidden cylinders and or remove revealed cylinders. Comms rating limits how many pieces are impacted per cube.
Yep.
Oh, wait, no, that's actually the Byzantine, but I presume it's actually similar.
It's the same. Yep. Yeah, you just remove the revolt cube if you want to remove the revolt.
Okay.
You can either remove that revolt or you can flip the neutral. It's up to you.
Say that again. I can.
So you could either remove that revolt, which is probably what I would do. Makes sense. Or you could flip the neutral. So if you do that, what it does is it prevents somebody else from using that neutral because everybody has an action where you can activate neutrals.
Oh, I see.
So basically, you can be like, well, this turn, if I'm the Fatimids, I'm going to be the Egyptian, whatever these guys are, the Tulanids or whatever. And I'm going to flip him because you didn't flip him, so I'm going to use him. And then I'm going to say, oh, I'm going to recruit there.
Yeah.
Or muster there and add another cube. And then I can start campaigning against you and making life miserable. So.
I'll remove the revolt. So, and is there a pile to remove him too, or do I just click on him and delete him, or?
Yeah, just delete him. Yeah.
And
it's pretty old school. So if you right click, there should be a delete option.
Oh, I see.
Delete and clone.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Okay, so then green gets to decide if they want this event or the Hungarian raids. Or money. I could use the money. So Abbasids, how much are we talking, I guess? To take the event.
Let me see. This is the Fadamids. Ooh, Fadamids. I'm not really inclined to give you lots of cash, my Fadamid friend. You're on 8. How much would you want?
I think that's worth well, you get the cube is worth 1 because you got to pay 1 to take the cube or to muster the cube. And then the cylinder's got to be worth at least 2. So I'd say it's worth at least 3. But then I'm going to ask James the Byzantine if he'd pay 4 for that card, because I can do it for you, James, if you want. If you'd pay us 4 money.
If that offer is coming in, the Byzantine Empire would be delighted to conduct business.
All right, let's do it. So Fatimids are taking.
Abbas, hold on.
I was waiting for a response.
Abbasids will be happy to pay 5.
Okay. 5 it is. I love that. Okay, so green is up to 13. And black is down to 21. And then these pieces are becoming Abbasid in Armenia.
They've seen the light.
Yeah. The Armenians. Okay. So that's green done. So then these shift over. Green. So green will be, they were the tertiary player, so they go to first. Yellow was the secondary player, they go to second. And black was primary, so they go to third. And then that event card goes away. And these ones slide up. So Safarid Revels are our next event. And then Hungarian Raids. And then Saracen Piracy 2. Electric Boogaloo.
Saracen Piracy 2.
Mm-hmm. Raid without using pieces for that one.
Okay.
So then blue goes first on Safarid Rebels.
Okay, so Safarid Rebels. Add 1 revolt, 1 neutral cylinder, and 2 neutral cubes to Khorasan. Not really a huge interest to the Franks. Conduct 1 free raid with any pieces in Khorasan, which is all full of Fatimid pieces. No interest to the Franks.
Yeah.
Can't do anything on them. Well, could get on to the next card if I wanted to, but add 1 neutral cylinder and 1 neutral cube to Hungary. Not very sexy.
No.
Then free raid with any cubes in Hungary or remove 1 cylinder from Hungary. Again, not very sexy. Not much happening in Hungary at the moment. So I think we'll ignore those. Saracen Piracy and conduct a raid in Rome, Lombardy, or Provence could be a bit problematic for me. That's if somebody takes it though. So who would that be? If I kept going, bam, 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 it would be possibly the Norse. But are they really going to want to raid? They might do. Remind me, Phil. Sorry. If I pass, I have to pass to the next card. I can't pass to the.
No, you're in a spot where
$3.
You can either pass to the dollar spot now.
Yeah.
That'll put you on Hungarian raids.
Yeah.
Or you can pass to the $3 spot, and that'll put you on Saracen Piracy.
Okay.
And then if you go here, you're going to push the Fatimids to play on this card.
Let me have a quick look again at the Frankish primary and secondaries just quickly in case there's something I can do here.
You got Revolt City too all over them.
Yeah, I just noticed that as well. I have lots of stuff to mop up, don't I? Though I still have control in those areas, those regions. It's just they're going to be a bit of a distraction and an annoyance. And I won't be able to raise troops there or tax there, which is going to be a problem.
Yep.
So I probably do ultimately need to do something with them. So
the other thing is the Lombards are still 1 march away from Rome too, which can be a pain.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, let me see. mission campaign tax emissary. Yeah, okay. To adjacent. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do emissary. I'm going to move around my cylinders to get them places I need them to be. So do emissary first. So emissary, I'll just read this out. Emissary says reposition cylinders. Either move your cylinders between adjacent locations or move your cylinders between any cities. The papacy track and the caliphate track or hide all active cylinders on the map. So we're just going to move to adjacent spaces.
Okay.
And going to move into West Francia. Going to move from East Francia down to Burgundy. I'm going to move from, oh crap, if I move out of Saxony, I lose control. Okay, I don't need to though. No, I don't need to, sorry, I don't need to move out there. Okay, yeah, I thought the repositioning, I need to do it with emissary, and then I want to subjugate in those spaces. So $1 per location. So I'm going to subjugate in Saxony, West Francia.
You don't have enough cubes there to impact anything though, because Saxony is a C, so you need 3 cubes there.
Oh, sorry. Let me just say here,
Yeah.
subjugate. I didn't read through the whole thing.
Yeah.
And same location to cubes. Remove. No, I'm removing a revolt now.
Same deal. You need
Is it?
you need enough cubes to.
Oh,
impact.
sorry. I see it further down. Yeah, 1 to 1, 2 to 1, 3 to 1. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, and they're Bs. Well, 2 to 1, I could do it in West Frank. Can I do it in West Francia?
Yes. Yeah. West Francia you can
Okay.
do. Burgundy you can do.
Not Saxony though. Does the cylinder count against it?
No, needs to be cubes.
And what's oh, it's a C. Sorry. Okay, didn't realize that was B. Okay, so let's do it in. Let's do it then in. Flip that back. I'll just do it in Burgundy then, and in West Francia to remove those revolts.
Okay.
Okay, which cost me a whopping
$2.
$2. Good value. Good value.
Yep. And well, now you make $3 back too by doing that. So
yeah, helps kind of fix my economy, so to speak. So
yeah.
Doesn't seem like it did a lot there, but I repositioned those cylinders to get them in there, and then obviously put the revolts down in Burgundy and West Francia.
Yep.
And that's the Franks done, primary and special.
So now the Byzantines can do a limited, so 1 action of any kind, primary special, but only in 1 location. Or they can do Safford Rebels, which isn't great for them. So
what I'm looking at is probably mustering in Constantinople. That's what I'm kind of thinking.
that's what
I'm leaning
100%
towards.
Yeah.
So yeah, might as well go for that. 1 second now. Where am I? Oh, I was actually on the. So I'm going back and forth between the pages. So add cubes from available to map. Add cubes from available to a location under your control. In each location, add a cube. Number of cubes equal to or less than your leader's muster rating plus your bases in that location.
Mm-hmm.
So the muster rating is that 1.
Yep.
And the number of cubes. So I know you gave me this number a while ago, but I'm just trying to recalculate myself. So 1 plus the 2 bases, I can put down 3 cubes in there and pay $3.
Exactly. Yep.
Perfecto. Now
And there's I don't have any available pieces or anything set up yet, so you can just clone them. There's a max you can have. So the Byzantines can have 28 total cubes on the map. I've kind of got my eye on it. I'll try and pay attention to that.
Oh, okay.
So
there is
about 20 right now. So
3.
I will keep an eye on it as the opposite player as well.
Yeah, right, and vice versa. So.
And I'm going down to 13 now.
Yep.
It's a bit. I think I'm there. I think I'm right.
Yeah, those tracks get changed. Like Pork said, they should just be up to 15. I think you just flip the cylinder.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's actually a good idea.
It's on the list for the next map overhaul when I get to it. But then that'll be easier for sure.
I should have put myself there, and I believe that's my turn.
Yeah. So now the Norse don't really care about the event, and I guess we could just mess with the Fatimids, but I'm not too worried about it. So we're going to go pass to here, which will be Saracen Piracy. Okay, so then that's event is done. Safford Rebels is done. Hungarian Raids move up. Saracen Piracy moves up. This card will be the Great Heathen Army. Missile here.
Did the Norse collect our cash there?
No, and then I'm gonna do it like when I reset. I think is the best way to do it. So boop boop boop, and then the Norse go here and they get 3. 1, 2, 3, up to 9. I needed money too. I didn't play them very well last time. Okay, and so now green is in the driver's seat. That's me. And we get the Hungarian raids, which are fun, but nobody's close enough to the Hungarians to get. Last game I played, the Poles were everywhere. They actually tripped up the Norse big time, so that was fun. But that's okay. We got plans. So we're going to do primary and special. And for our special, we're going to be doing some Maula for sure. And so we're going to Maula Syria. And now I got to make sure I have enough. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I miscounted. I can't do that one. I have my 7 cylinders out. Report got a 7.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So yeah, but that's okay. So we're gonna take a cube. Yeah, because that base is okay. So we're gonna take a cube in Syria. And then same in Baghdad, but we're going to take an Abbasid cube. You can keep the revolt. And then that lost Baghdad for the Abbasids. And then we're going to do the same in Sawad. We're going to take the cube. Do that. Okay, so we've got Sawad now. Okay, so that's the Maula's done. And then we're going to do just like a mega raid. Okay, so we're going to raid into. This guy's going to go to Al Jazeera. Stars. Oh, wait, hang on. Might be special. I'm thinking about it, though. Fatimid primary. Oh, yeah, I can. Okay, cool. It's a primary. All right, so right there, these two are going to go into Fars. These two go to Transcaucasus. This guy is going to raid into Baghdad, and this guy's going to raid. No, he's going to stay in Baghdad. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 raids we're going to do. So that costs 6. That takes us down to. Oops, crap. So green's down to 7. Purple was on 13 there. And then we just roll for each of the raids. So we'll do Syria first. Roll 1d6. Roll to 4. That's add a revolt. Okay, so add a revolt to Syria.
James, the raid.
The
raid. Yeah, you can show where the raid results are.
That way, all right. So then you lose Al Jazeera. Then we'll do 2 toward the Transcaucasus. 5 and 6. Leave cube, lose cube. So this guy stays. This guy's dead. And then 2 into Fars. 1 and 5. Leave cube is the 5, and then the 1 is double the econ, so it's $2. And black controls it, so green gets 2 money from that, and black loses 2 money. And then Baghdad is 1d6 is a 5. Leave cube in target, so he stays there. Okay, that's the Fatimids done. Basically, just messing with people.
Messing with me.
Messing with the Abbasids, yeah. Messing with a person. So, James, you're up as Umayyads. You can do limited. You can take the event, or you can pass.
Sorry, where do you see we'll say the total number of units, or is that there that a faction can have?
I'm just keeping account. But so the Umayyads are, I think I put them on the player aid. Wrong thing up there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
It's,
they're on
18 cubes, 7 cylinders, 4 discs for the Umayyad. So what are we saying? 18 cubes. And we are looking at the moment, 3,
Most of your
4,
forces,
5,
Spain.
6, 7, 10,
13 you've got.
13.
Yeah.
So what I was thinking of doing was marching
You have
from...
Egypt too. So we'll put a marker on Egypt because Egypt is yours.
Okay. 2 from Cortuba, south. Does that make sense?
Yep.
That was what I was thinking.
Mhm.
So is it just 1 per destination? One
Yes.
money?
$1 per destination. Yep.
So it brings
So you
down
could-
to...
You could
Oh, yeah, sorry.
you could move cubes from both Cortuba and Al Andalus if they're going to the same place.
Okay,
I
even with the limited action.
Yep.
I think I'll
just have to worry
just
about it.
move
Yeah.
those 2 because I am worried about that peacekeeping force.
Your Christian neighbors there.
Mm.
We're on
And
holidays.
I think that's me.
Yep. Okay, so yellow's done. Did you pay for that one, James? The
Yep.
one? Okay, cool. And then so Abbasids can take the event or they can pass.
Neutral cylinder, neutral cube, free raid any cubes. Free raid any cubes in Hungary or remove some. When it says free raid, I mean, assume it's out of Hungary, but it's not going to make a difference anyway because there's nobody really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's not really going to make too much of a difference.
You could take this event and you could do the raids with the Hungarian cubes.
Yeah, that's true.
And you could raid the Danube. So the lock you can raid, that's a target. And that's worth 2. So if you get any of the money results, you'd get the money. As the whoever fires off the neutrals gets the money resulting from the raids.
Ah, okay, that's interesting.
And you don't have to pay to use
something per match any cubes from ours to Hungary as if adjacent. Yeah, may as well because it's not going to cost me anything. So I'll take the event and it's going to get me cash. So add 1 neutral cylinder and 1 neutral cube to Hungary. So clone. It also kind of leaves a bit of an existential threat to the Byzantines in the north, I guess.
They can't ignore those 5 neutral cubes that are right next to Thrace now. So yep.
Free raid. Any cubes in Hungary. So as you demonstrated very well there, I will put both those cubes onto the Danube.
Yep. You could do 1 into Bulgaria too. And in the event you get to take a piece, you could take the purple cylinder out of Bulgaria too. They don't have to go to the same destination. They can raid to different spots. So
yeah, let's do that. So we'll raid 1 into Bulgaria then and 1 onto the Danube.
Yeah. Well, you can do. I would use all 3. Use all 3 because it's free. So.
So remind me again. So am I just against the Danube? Then am I just rolling on the raid chart?
Yep. And you have to.
Okay, same difference.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to do 2 onto the Danube and 1 into Bulgaria.
Yep.
I just differentiate that by just moving it slightly over the border.
Cool.
So let's roll for the Danube first of all. A 1 and a 5 gain twice the economy. Woohoo! That's a 4 on that roll, yes.
Exactly.
And then a 5, leave cube on target, so 1 goes back, and I get 4 bucks.
Yep.
23. And then Bulgaria. 6. That Bulgarian cube dies. And that original cube on the Danube goes back into Hungary.
No, he stays.
Stays there, okay.
Yeah, because his result was leave in target, so he stays on the Danube now.
Well, that was the 1. So gain dollars, twice economy, control a faction, lose the same dollars.
Yeah, you rolled a 1 and then a 5 as well. 5 was the other guy.
Oh, right, okay.
Yep. So 1 guy went back to Hungary and 1 guy stays on the Danube.
Yeah, okay. Cool. And that's the Abbasids. So Abbasids would go to first, second, third.
Exactly, and then we draw another card for the Epoch. So Hungarian Raids is done. They raided. Saracen Pirates. Great Heathen Armies. I don't have enough cubes for it. That was... Anyway. And then the Lombard Client States. Interesting. It's not set up well for that now, but okay. So, Saracen Pirates. Norse go first. I want the missile here, but I don't have the cubes for it, so it's not going to help me. Conduct a naval raid without using pieces. No, we just need to be mustering, unfortunately. Okay, so we'll do primary and special. Ivar, the boneless. Muster is 1. So we're going to muster a cube in Alba, which we control. And muster a cube in Norse, which we control. And muster a cube in Novgorod. So it's $3. 3. And then we'll probably voyage some cubes. Control 2 plus in Britain. Control 4 plus. Actually, no. We're going to start marching for Northumbria. Oh, no, I mustered, though. Motherfucker.
First swear.
Oh, yeah, shit.
Second swear.
They're hard to... Norse are hard to play right. Location of hidden cylinder. Where's the one cylinder in cubes? So cube attack with cubes. Pieces. Okay. You know what? Okay. We're just gonna go primary only. I'm not gonna do a special. It's not really anything I want with it. So we'll just unless we go toward Iceland. I lied. Primary and special. All right, so we're going to voyage to Iceland. We're going to try 2 cubes there, so we got to roll 5 or less. And we're just going to try 1. We're going to try 1 cube there, roll 5 or less. 5. Okay. Norse discover Iceland and settle it on the voyage. So that's the red turn is done. So now purple can take a limited or the event.
So the event is to raid Rome or Provence.
Or Lombardy.
Both Frankish controlled.
Yep.
What exactly does that mean, or what would that do?
Ordinarily, you've got to like use one of your pieces across the naval route to do a naval raid. But with this card, you can do the raid without using any of your pieces. So basically, you can do a roll on the raid chart one time, and either for Rome, Lombardy, or Provence.
Or Lombardy as well, yeah. And okay, yeah.
I'm gonna go get some Ishka real quick, as Pork says.
Ishka Baz, Berko.
Not entirely. I would say I'm not entirely sure what direction I should be going in. Control 12. So control is
Control of 12. 12 spaces, effectively.
Okay. Is there a shorthand for kind of seeing which spaces I control? Is this the ones with the Imperial P, the purple kind of?
Yes, exactly.
Symbol? Okay.
That's your control. So you have currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I make it 9.
I think it's a 10. Maybe is there Africa?
Oh, sorry, 10 in Ifriqiya, yeah, North Africa, yeah. 10. So two more spaces effectively gets you there.
And how do you take control of a space? Is it just have a majority of
pieces? Yeah, exactly. So once your pieces exceed the number of all other pieces in that province or city. So, for example, in Tahert or Barca, if you were to move one piece into each, you then have control of each of those provinces. However, at a risk of having your, I suppose, your pieces there spread out.
Yeah.
Equally, you've got
I was going to
Crete
move
up here. You've got Cyprus.
Oh yes, I didn't actually spot Crete. Yeah, I didn't spot the naval routes. So yeah, we could move from Constantinople to Crete.
Those are just raids. You can only use that to raid. You can't march.
What's
can
this,
you?
Just the Norse get to march across those.
But you can. Oh yeah, there's no. The Byzantines don't have that naval raid where you can land there now.
No. There are event cards where they can get back, but once they've given up the islands, it's hard for them to take them back.
Okay.
It's easier for the Abbasids to take the islands. That just was historical what happened. So.
I just thought it was actually that isn't Byzantine, is it anymore?
No.
I was about to ask. Yeah. Okay. So it's the. And how do I control Egypt then, as the Umayyads? I might wait until we get back to that, or I'll be.
You do right. There's your control thing there, because you got majority pieces there.
Oh, I saw. I thought it was split by the green. No, the green is the river. That's the Nile. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Okay. So I might just move 2 pieces out of Constantinople to the east.
Now the Byzantines have a special move called themata, where you can move as many adjacent controlled spaces as you can, right? So they could just move the one adjacent space, or they could, warp all the way to Friuli or Miniacon. So
yeah, but this is limited, isn't it?
You could still do it because it's a special. You can only pick one final destination to go to.
Okay.
Also, you're saying I could kind of warp them from other places, but
as long as you have a path of adjacency, the Byzantines get to rearrange. That's their special. Nobody else can do that.
Okay.
As long as you have a line of supply effectively back to where they came from.
Yep.
I think we'll just go for the muster, and I'm reducing now to 12. And I think that's me.
So it took us Opsikion back, right? Okay. So that's done. And then Franks can take the piracy event and hit Lombardy, or they can pass. Basically hiring the Arab pirates to hit Lombardy.
Yeah, to hit our own forces.
Well, no, you don't have anybody in Lombardy. It's just neutral.
Lombardy. Oh, sorry, yeah, forgot about that. Why? Oh, sorry, I'm mixing it up with Burgundy. Lombardy. Naval raid. So naval raid is based on the raid chart or is it based on?
Yeah, you just basically this just lets you roll on the raid chart.
The raid chart, okay. I don't think I can't do it with this anyway. I could pass, which would put me first on the next one. Or so I don't need to do that, or I could. French faces. French faces. No, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I will pass for $1 and kick out the Abbasids.
Okay. So now the Abbasids can take the piracy card.
So the Abbasids go back to here.
Yep.
And would the Abbasids want to raid Rome?
That maybe you make a deal in that situation and say, I'll pass, but you got to take Lombardy. You know what I mean? If you're the Frankish player there.
That's true. But I think the opposite player would say, "I'll just take the 3 bucks
Yep.
and go to 20."
Oh, they get both. They get the $3 anyway, so you should fire the event.
Okay.
Mhm.
How did I get the 3 bucks anyway?
Once you get bumped,
Yeah.
you get bumped to the pass space. There, so you get the $3, you're getting bumped, but then you get to go on your.
Oh, I get you. Okay. So,
it's
okay.
just like because you had, been the primary actor or the initiative actor and got pushed out of being the initiative player. It's like a $3 plus another little action bonus. This just happens to be a decent card for him,
So I think probably as a Frankish player, then I probably would have bribed the opposite player to target Lombardy. So probably would have given them, say, 3 extra. So we'll put that down to 11 for the Franks. And we will never raid Lombardy with 1d6. It's 1d6, isn't it?
Yep.
It's a 5. Leave cube and target, so I guess that's just a neutral cube.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay, clone. Didn't really work out perfectly well for the Franks.
No, didn't work out good for him at all, actually.
more actors in that theater.
Yes.
So then I guess in terms of reordering, I guess Byzantines go here.
Black does.
Black does, okay, sorry.
Yeah, it's like they went onto the event here, so they were the 3rd tertiary.
Oh, sorry, I get you now,
Purple secondary, red is primary with that.
Cool. Okay.
Did blue get their $1?
They did, I believe. I think I gave them, before I took the cash off,
Cool. And so these reset. Blue's going first next. This card's done. These ones move up. Yeah.
Are you counting for end of epoch?
Yeah, I'm looking.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5. That's 7 cards. So we'll have at least 2 more guaranteed events.
Okay.
Outside of these 3 that we can see.
Franks are up. Okay. Okay. Let's have a quick look at Treaty of Verdun. Okay, so I want Pepsi aligned, which it's not aligned. Okay. I want control of 8+, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 of 8 currently. Latin 14, which seems like it's going to be a tough gig. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You got 13.
2 discs. Yeah, do I?
Yeah, the Christmas tree looking one is the Latin cross.
Yeah, I'm only seeing 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry, it's one in Northern Spain. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, and Normandy. Oh, sorry, yeah, I'm forgetting Ireland and Britain as well.
Yep.
Okay,
so
1, 2, 3,
basically
13.
you need to just flip one more to get that one.
Okay.
Flip one to Christian. Or, sorry, one to Latin Christian. The Christmas tree looking one.
Okay, let's see. Well, okay, so for the start anyway, I'm going to be taking primary and special. Yeah. So let's have a look at the Franks. Now to flip and do stuff, I'm going to mission, I guess, isn't it? So on location with a hidden cylinder, activate one cylinder there, and shift religion by 1 towards Latin Christian. Okay. Or should calibrate one process. Okay. Mission. Okay, now the one problem I have though possibly is that I have, I'm not going to be able to do it straight away, I guess. So I might need to flip my cylinders back to reuse them again at some point. So yeah, let's emissary first of all, just to. Or will I emissary first of all? Let me see. Just thinking here what I want to do. Okay, I'll tell you what I will do that I was going to do anyway. We're going to start mustering.
Yep.
So I need to do this in places where I have control, which there are plenty of locations. Add cubes when available to map. Add cubes when available to a location under Frankish control. And each location has a number of cubes equal to or less than your leader's muster rating plus your bases in that location. So my muster rating is 1. So I'll get 1 in each space bar in anywhere I have a disc, which is in Rome. I would get 2.
Yep.
And I have a total of 11 bucks. Okay, so let's
you have 5. You have 22 total you can put out, so you have 5 more cubes you can place too. Just do the count.
5. Okay. Okay, so let's for a start, let's put 2 in Rome.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 1, 2, and that's 1 for the muster rating and 1 for the base in Rome. Okay, so that is 2 bucks.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna put 1 in the Spanish marches for 3. And are the 5 total I could put out?
Yeah, yep, 5 total.
Okay. Okay, 1 in East Francia. And 7. So I put out 2, 3, 4, and 1 more. Let's do it up in Saxony. Okay, brings you down to 6. So that was me mustering. And for my secondary, I'm going to do emissary and I'm just going to flip those cylinders back.
Okay.
And I think that is me done. Yep, that's me done.
Cool. So then, James, yellow, you can do limited, you can do the event, or you can do a pass.
Okay, let's see.
In passing, you might think about that Martyrs of Cordoba card. It can add a revolt to Cordoba.
So Cordoba and Cordoba is the
Same thing, yeah. That's just the Arab name for it.
okay. Okay. So what does end set to mixed mean?
So right now it's at mixed, so that doesn't have any impact. If there's no religion counter on the space, it's just that mixed. And then the next step from mixed is you can either go to Christian or it can go to Muslim with a mission action, or a Dawa is the Muslim mission. And then once it's over in Christian or Muslim, then it can move to Latin Christian or Orthodox Christian, or it can move to Sunni Muslim or Shia Muslim. Right now it's mixed. Umayyads don't care about religion for the first half of the game, and then in the second half of the game, they do.
So if I don't take that now, it's most likely green is going to be, well, barring nothing else from changing, green is going to be ahead of me on that choice.
Yeah. Yes.
And but as it stands at the moment, it won't really have much of an impact if they do actually add the revolt. Because I was thinking of mustering there at the moment. That was my pretty much my main idea.
The big thing now is if it's got a revolt, you can't muster there. So if you got your muster done now, it's going to
Oh, yeah.
take the thing out of it. So that would be. Yeah, that makes sense.
13. Yeah. So I'll muster there, and it's is it 2 for every cube for the Umayyads?
Umayyads muster rating right now is 1, so you get 1 for that, and then you get 1 for the base too. And contributors, you get 2. Yep.
But it's $2, is it?
Oh yeah, they pay 2. Yes, that's right. Pay 2 per
Okay.
cube.
So that brings me down to 14, and I believe that is me.
Cool. Okay, so green. That doesn't do anything, so we're just passing. And we're going to do the long paths and just get the money. So we're going to pass to 4th, which is the card we can't see right now. So that's done. So yellow goes to secondary, blue goes to primary. And then missile here is done. Where's Crow? Edric of Petrez. No fortifications this turn. If somebody takes that one. Okay. So now Abbasids are up on Lombard client states.
Okay. Replace all Byzantine pieces. Replace all Byzantine pieces in one of, I guess, is it Lombardy or Benevento with Frankish pieces. Not really of interest. Revolt in Cordoba. Remove 1 revolt in adjacent Cordoba, set to Muslim. Not of immediate concern. So in that case, the Abbasids will go primary and special.
Okay.
Okay, so let me have a look here. See what we want to do. Okay. Okay. So. Okay, so I think we will, let me have a look at the Abbasid leader card, which is Anarchy at Samara. We want to control Baghdad, Al Jazeera, and Sawad. That's not going well. Caliphate Submissive, which it is, and Abbasid, which it is. This is 3+. Got 2 out. Control 10. Control's very flaky in the region at the moment. Oh, didn't get control of Armenia here. I should do that.
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Muslim 9+.
8. You got 8. You have 8 controls now.
8, yeah. I think the Abbasid high point was last epoch.
Yes. Well, you get Turks later. When the Turks come, they make another push.
Okay, so muster 1, admin 10. Okay, so I think I need to be rebuilding forces, really. I got 28 cubes, so I have plenty of room, I think, don't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, only about half that. So, okay, let's go mustering where we have. Oh, yeah, it's air control. Yeah. Okay, so we will muster. That cubes available to a location under your control, and each location add a number of cubes equal to or less than your leader's muster rating, which is 1 plus your bases in that location. Now, it sadly means I can't do it in Baghdad, but then I would have to march and I couldn't build. So No, let's build the forces. So I'm going to do it in Hejaz, in Najd.
Naj, you can't because there's a revolt.
There's a revolt, you're right, sorry. Syria, Cilicia,
Yep.
Armenia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do it anywhere I can, effectively, because I've got plenty of cash. So
Anything but Naj, you can add a cube to. That would include the Silk Roads too, so you can still muster on that. It's still a location.
Okay, so so let's count these up before I actually play. So 1, 2, 3. Can I recruit on muster on the Hajrus?
You can't.
Well, sorry,
Yellow
I'm not
so you
controlling. Yeah. So sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 locations. 7 locations.
Mm-hmm.
7. So this is going to cost me 7 because I can only put 1 piece out in each.
Yep.
So that'll bring it from 26 down to 19. And I will bring out cubes in each of those locations. So 1 there. 1 there. Syria. Down in Hejaz. Fars. On the Silk Road. And Transcaucasus. Okay. So that is the muster action done. And for secondary, let me see here. Yeah, actually, this is a good way of doing this. So we're going to do, for secondary action, emissary. So reposition cylinders, move Fatimid, or not Fatimid, sorry, so Fatimid, move Abbasid cylinders between adjacent locations. So I'm going to move the cylinder in Armenia to Al Jazeera, which gains me back control of Al Jazeera.
Okay. Yeah. You could have done that first too, and then mustered there.
That is true. Actually, I'll do 2. So I'm going to move that one, and I'm going to move 1 in Cilicia.
Okay.
To Armeniacon. That's it. Has to be. Does it have to be underground? No, it's just any cylinders.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. We'll leave it at that then.
Okay. Cool. Okie dokie. So black's done. So then James Byzantines can either take a limited move or the event. Yeah, event's not very helpful, so probably limited, I would think.
Mm-hmm. The cylinder there, 2 squares to the east of Constantinople. What does that mean for my 2 cubes there?
They're just visiting Abbasid diplomats.
They can. They have a special action called Maula, where they can flip to active and steal a piece. So like those cubes can be recruited over to Muslim forces, basically. And then the other thing, it can also start chipping away at the religion. So you could also flip that active and change that from right now it's Orthodox back to just regular Christian, and you don't get points for regular Christian. They need to be Orthodox. You could subjugate there, and that would flip him active, and then you couldn't do anything with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
And what can be done with that that cube stays there then, or Padraig would
Yeah,
have to take a move to unflip it and move it to another space.
yeah, he could emissary again and flip it back underground, but that costs him the action basically. So it'd be a back and forth thing, you know. If you've got 4 cubes there, for example, then you can have both. You can do a flip. Sorry, you can't do it like that. I'm lying. You can do a flip, and then if you do another subjugate, you can remove it. But it's got to be another action, another turn.
Mm-hmm.
Other things to think about when you're the Byzantines is that Basil the Macedonian is one of your best leaders. He's got a military rating of 3. So that means if you do a campaign somewhere, you get to roll 3 dice, which a lot of times you're only on 2 or even 1. And his admin is 12, so you can control 12 spaces through the epoch round. So you can well, you're probably about there though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you could add 2 more spaces to the empire and control them both, keep them basically. So that's something else to think about.
Mm-hmm.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And you have 20 cubes, so you could muster again too and get more forces out. That's another idea. And one of your victory point goals is having control of Cilicia, this border in Asia Minor.
Okay.
And that's pretty much throughout the game one of the Byzantine goals for the most. And then if you ever wanted to try and win automatic win, you need 3 cities. So if you're moving in that direction, Baghdad and Jerusalem are both that way. So Jerusalem's going to be hard to get, though. I think. Well, we'll just have to see. There are event cards which can pop pieces up in there, though. So.
And Cairo is not yet a city, correct? It's fussed out at the moment, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Cairo, in Epoch 5, the Greens can build Cairo into the victory city. So right now it's just this Fustat space. It's a 0 econ and it's a B. But then as soon as the green controls it in Epoch 5, then it becomes Cairo.
So I'll take the limited anyway. This special action, is it Themata?
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That would allow me basically to pick up as many cubes as I want to from along the kind of the line leading from, we'll say there to the kind of the north of Italy, and drop them. So we'll say if I was to take one, I don't know, is it showing up when I click on the pieces? I don't think it's actually like showing which ones I'm indicating, but I would have been thinking 1, 2.
Yeah, but because it's
3.
limited. You can only pull from one space and move.
They can only come from one space. Okay, that's what I was asking. Yeah.
If it's your primary and special, and you're doing it as a special action, then you can totally rearrange. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty much. Oh, it's other than the fact it's free. It's pretty much the exact same as, when it's limited.
Yeah. It's just like a warp from one space to the other.
Okay. Yeah. That's of moderate use. Okay. I think I would pick up maybe these 2 from Dalmatia. And I'm trying to figure out, do I want to drop them there or do I want to drop them into, I'm presuming that's Armenia. My geography isn't good at the best of times. Never mind with I do like the kind of the map that was chosen, as opposed to like I don't think it would work as well if it was a modern map.
No, it's very thematic, isn't it?
Yeah. One way or another, they can't do a whole heap there, so I'll have set them to here, and so that's the themata, and I suppose I'll just call my turn there.
After you up next, Phil. We lost
He's
Phil.
thinking. He's deep in thought.
He looks
Nope,
very
laptop
deep in
just
thought.
died.
He looks stunned.
The laptop just died in him, he says.
Oh, right, okay. How are you finding it so far, James?
Considering that the Troubles is the only other experience I have in this genre, I'm finding this a lot more, a lot easy. I won't say easier, but there aren't as many moving pieces to kind of consider. I think if I put in as much time as I've put into the Troubles, I would pick this up a lot faster.
Yeah.
I
You
like
do.
the mechanics. I haven't gotten to do a lot of them. I do have a feeling that I'm kind of trapped perpetually in second place. I've only been doing limited actions with both of my groups. I don't think that they ever get pushed into first or last position. Maybe it's because I haven't skipped. But
Yeah. You can position. Yeah, there is ways to position yourself, I suppose. Yeah, but it's at the cost of not doing something. Then.
Yeah. But we'll say like one of you guys skipping has never pushed my guy from second into third or from second into first.
Yeah.
So I've kind of been just stuck with the limited actions at the moment and haven't seen a lot of the events. But no, I like it's a really interesting idea. I wasn't too sure how it would work out playing as an actual Civ and how, events that are totally unrelated to you, how they would actually play
Interact.
and why you should be interested in them. But no, I quite like it. It's interesting.
Yeah, and it's interesting, I think, whereby that Martyrs of Cordoba one as well, like in some certain, in circumstances there, as you as the Umayyad player, you'd be conscious about that not taking place if you're quite.
Mm-hmm.
If Cordoba was or Cordoba was very exposed,
weaker, maybe.
Yeah. It might be a case that you might have to position your play to ensure that somebody didn't take it, like the Frankish player or the Fatimid player.
Yeah. Well, they're like the Lombard client states is totally meaningless with the way the board is set up at the moment, but under different circumstances, that could be a very important card.
Yeah,
so that's kind of interesting. Is the I just like Martyrs of Cordoba, I have a feeling, I might be wrong, isn't going to have much of an impact on the next turn, but in a different game, it could actually be the turning point of the whole thing.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not going to be. It's going to stop you raising taxes and mustering Cordoba. But if you obviously preempt that by as you did mustering already there, and then if you're not short on cash or you have enough cash, then it's not going to be as big a hit as it might be. But it could be consequential whereby you're embroiled in a war with the Franks there or the Fatimids, and then suddenly you've only got one or two pieces in Cordoba. In that case, then it's obviously going to be more impactful, I guess, isn't it? But yeah, I find the actions are quite, and you're only really seeing it for the first time now. I've had the benefit of kind of going through this about 3 or 4 times, so I'm kind of familiar with most of it by now. So you can it's just a case of trying to figure out where you need to be or what you want.
Yeah.
I had a plan, like in the first epoch. In the first epoch, I got the Abbasids as far as Jerusalem. We kind of took Jerusalem.
Okay.
But then the Byzantines came down into Baghdad, and I kind of had to retreat to a degree. So there is a lot of back and forth, and there's the administration piece. I suppose we'll see at the end of this, the equivalent of the propaganda round, I suppose, is interesting in the sense that the larger empires like the Byzantines have, well, depending obviously what your administration rating is, but you can't just grow, you can't just sprawl all the way across the map. Basically, you're going to have to shrink back at some point because of because of the ratings obviously on the cards, but because obviously it's not going to be realistic that Byzantines are going to take over all of Europe and all of the Middle East and North Africa.
Do you always have the same ruler for each epoch? So your ruler is always going to be the same one for Epoch 3 as the Frankish?
That I'm not sure of. I assume it is, yeah. So I didn't. That's something I must ask Phil, is whether there are, because it'd be interesting if there's alternatives like for. So who have I like again? Technically, somebody's. Ah, there you go.
Computer has died on me.
We're just chatting about the game in general, but James was asking there if there was different. If the leaders, I think what you're asking, James, correct me if I'm wrong, is if it was the same leader for each epoch in terms of the same cards for each epoch, or is there multiple per epoch?
There's just one for each faction for each epoch. You could do more. You could do more for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely doable. And there's some like the Norse have Bluetooth and Forkbeard, I think, in the next epoch. So they kind of have two guys. And then each guy has an event card associated with him that might come out. So there's that kind of thing. But yeah, you could do another one for sure. It's a matter of doing them, making them up. But
Okay, where were we? North. Oh yeah, it was you, Phil.
Oh, me. Okay. So we don't like the event, right? So we're just going to pass it. But we want money. And green wants money, but we want more money. So we can pass and push green out to 1. The wing back. Okay, so we'll do that. So then purple goes to secondary, black goes to primary, red goes here. Red gets 3 to 9, and then green gets $1. They're up to 10. And he's gonna switch this way, and he's gonna switch this way. And then now I think we need to check. We'll double check the numbers, but we might be running up to the end here. So many cards we've played: 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we get one more guaranteed. Omar Ibn Hafshun. He's not a great guy for the Umayyads.
Ooh, quite nasty for the Umayyads.
No, green goes first. Green was pretty well managed by Pork early on, so they really can kind of mess around. And I know the Caliphate can be hard to get at. We'll make that our goal. So we'll do primary and special. And we are going to do emissaries for our special. So we have that milities though. Oh man. No, we're gonna do this. Okay, emissary. So these two fellows in Sawad move into Baghdad. The fellow in Baghdad moves on to the Caliphate track. Okay. Okay. This guy can bust out of Syria. He's not doing anything there.
Also gives you control of Baghdad.
Yeah. Okay, this guy's going to go to the Euphrates Valley here. Okay, so got the Euphrates, got Baghdad for the time being. And the guys in Khorasan. I want to get them over to Baghdad, but they're going to be exposed. Okay, maybe it's worth it. All right, okay. All right, so the emissary there, okay? So that's all the emissary. And then now we're going to march. This guy going in there? No, we do. this dude in the Maghreb is going to emissary to Al Masat too. We'll lose the Maghreb for now. Okay. And then we're going to march. So these two fellows march into Baghdad. 1, 2. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This guy marches to the Caliphate track because that's adjacent. It's 3.
Mm-hmm.
So it costs $2. This guy is 2. All right. So it's going to cost $2 there. And this guy marches to Cordoba. That costs $1. This guy's not doing anything. He goes back to Khorasan. That costs $1. This guy goes back to Khorasan. That costs just $1 for the 2 of them. 6. And then this guy's going to protect his pal in the Euphrates Valley there. 5.
So the fact that the Fatimids now have Baghdad, does that change the disc on the Caliphate to Fatimid, or does it stay?
No. So how it'll work is in the end of Epoch, if the faction that has the Caliphate doesn't have Baghdad, then it moves 1 disc toward Crisis.
Okay.
And then, or if there's a revolt, either or. So it'll move toward assertive either way. Okay. And then these guys that are on the track, I can activate them and do the Dawa mission, and that'll move it. But it's still going to be, it'll still be Abbasid. So, Abbasid. Then in Crisis, you can do another one that makes it neutral. And then from neutral, it can go to green.
Gotcha. Okay. So it has to be in Crisis. Has to go to Crisis, go to neutral, and then go to whatever.
Yeah, you'll see it coming, but it's coming.
Yeah.
I don't doubt it. There's long-term for having long-term benefits if I get the Caliphate. So.
Okay.
They have to have it to win the game automatically too. So anyway, all right. So yellow can go now with limited or event.
Okay. So what happens? We'll say if there's a revolt now in Cordoba. Now that there's a green there as well, so there'll be a green and an orange and 3 yellow, if I'm right.
Yep, yellow still has Cordoba even with the revolt there.
Okay.
You won't get the 2 income. That's the big thing right now. But you also can't muster there if there's a revolt there.
Plus, would it be highly
neutral pieces too? So if you leave it untouched in the Epoch phase, then they could start spawning neutral pieces, 1 at a time.
I guess that Fatimid cylinder as well could start flipping your pieces, possibly, couldn't it?
Yeah, you don't want to leave him sitting there either.
Oh yes, I see.
Yep.
Oh,
Definitely not hidden,
Okay, that's so yeah. And what's my chances? So I have fairly low chances of actually being on top to prevent the Omar Ibn Hafsan card.
So you can pass. You can actually pass to the front there. So if you pass into this spot for $3, you will be the primary. You'll be the initiative player on that card.
Yeah.
And you get $3 in the process too. And then from there, you can just do a primary only, and then nobody can take the event. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It shuts it off. That one's not a fun card.
It's not. I don't think my theory is where. What are the areas in Spain? Sardinia isn't in Spain, is it?
No. So Spain is Spanish March, Asturias, Al-Andalus, Al-Mausat, and Cordoba.
Okay. Holy crap! What happened to Sardinia? Is that for floating east or west?
I actually drew it in. You can see it's the same shape as Ireland.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow!
All these, I just copied and pasted one of them.
Oh, do you know what? I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
I did notice it with Iceland. I didn't even notice Sardinia was where it was.
Now, and then England is actually, that's how we drew Ireland. So that's Al Idrisi's Ireland. Okay. But his actual England was really strange looking, but it also just took up too much space up here. So I copied Ireland and made it England for this.
I don't know whether to be happy or sad about that. Because I was half thinking of trying to fire the card, and that would be a revolt in a neutral cylinder in the top left-hand area in Padraig's area, but then I'd have to take up one of my areas as well. I was trying to figure out if
For the Omar Ibn Hafsun cards.
yeah.
Yeah, you could fire one in the Spanish market.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily bad.
Yeah. Whereas if I leave it's
you're basically setting. You're kind of. It's kind of like setting fire to your own house to try and secure yourself.
Yeah. Yep. He was like he was a Umayyad guy, but the Umayyads had this thing where they would be playing both sides. So he was one of like the Taifa, so like a smaller lord, but he kind of grew pretty large in stature and started working with the Christians. But they all were doing it. So anyway,
playing each side.
Yeah, I suppose I won't have to, but I will skip. So I'm placing myself there on the
yeah, I think that makes sense.
On that one.
Unless you have someone with a limited that you need to do, which I don't think you do right now. So yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay.
Blue can go.
And I think that might just be a horrible mistake for you, James, because I am the Franks now. And the Franks are definitely going to take the event. Oh, sorry, someone moved there. Where's the thing going?
That was me, sorry.
We're down here, sorry. Event. So I can add one revolt to Cordoba and set the mix or remove one revolt in the end. So let's put a revolt in Cordoba.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. They've heard of the delights of the Frankish lands further north.
The other thing you have to think about with cities is they are portals. So you can emissary cylinders between cities when you emissary. So for example, green could emissary 2 more cylinders to Cordoba, and then you got a problem. You know what I mean? So they're tricky. Okay, so blue goes to secondary, green to primary, right? Okay, yellow stay there. We'll get 3 if they don't get bumped. So then we may draw a card or we may not. I just been rolling on a 1 or 2. It's end of epoch. So let's roll and a 2. So it is the end of epoch. Okay. So end of epoch's coming. And Edric of Pitre for the Norse, which that's the momentum, so that doesn't really matter anymore. So Norse are going to go primary and special. And Norse are going to look at their goals here. 1 or more discs. I should have fucking put the cylinder together for that. I could have. All right, can't do it now. Too late. Control 4+, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that one's good. 2+ in Britain. No, but can't move that. I can. Recon 2+. All right, so we'll go. Okay, so Norse are. Oh no, okay, so they're going to march into Northumbria with 1.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's 1. Down to 8. And then we're going to attempt a voyage with this cube across Northumbria. So I need a 4 or less. So, all right, we got it. So he voyages to Northumbria. We got that. Working on Britain now. And he could try to voyage, but I don't want to do that. He would be nice to have over there, though. All right, we're not going to do that. March. Somebody else want to march, and you guys want to march. This guy can march. He doesn't have to do anything there. So I'm going to march him to Novgorod from the Great Rus. So we got those 3 there, so we can build a base there next. And This guy's not doing anything. He's going to go to Kiev. So I'm going to. Okay. So that is the Norse done. It's rearranging. And so Byzantines can take the limited or take the event, but the event's kind of worthless at this point.
So
pass to go first. Next.
For campaign, I need to actually move the cubes first of all. Is it? I need to, so I'll have to do a move and then I'll have to do a campaign, which I'm not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you don't
have a chance.
So you haven't seen that epoch happen, but you don't want your cubes in a place that you don't control in the end of epoch.
Mm-hmm.
Because
so I'm not
losing to attrition, you lose some of them. So
so I'm not going to really have a chance to do that. So I suppose we'll just subjugate in Armenia.
Yep. Now, if you go under $10, you're going to lose a victory point because Econ 10 plus is one of your victory things. So you want to be mindful of that too. Oh yeah, you won't go over though. That's fine. Yep.
Yeah, so that costs 1, so that'll bring me to 11.
Yep.
So I think I'll do that. And do I just flip this piece?
Yep, flip them. Yep.
Okay.
So now you can't screw around with you now. Yep.
You've exposed my agents in Armenia, Con.
And that is me, I believe.
Okay, so the Abbasids don't really want to take the event, so we can pass to go first on the next card and get $1.
Yep.
Let's do that.
You know what? What is the next one? Did I screw this up with James here?
Say that again?
I think I screwed it up with James. James wants to be in that spot, right? He wants Omar Ibn Hafsun to go. You want to go. Yellow wants to go first on this card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I screwed up that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Timing that. So James should have passed here. He's sitting there. Now, you can push him out. Abbasids can push him out still. If they want. So this is definitely a negotiation spot. Or they can take $3, but they're not going to get another action if they take the $3. Someone's getting far. Sure.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to. Let me see, where have I got? Yeah, I'm kind of desperate times with Baghdad, James, so I'm going to have to kick you out of there.
Yep.
And I don't think any amount of cash is going to convince me.
Yeah,
let me see.
They lose,
I'm not sure. Cash. Cash isn't really a massive. Cash isn't really a massive concern for me at the moment. The control of some areas is.
The next Abbasid ruler, though, you lose half of all your money that you have in the bank.
Half of all my money.
Yeah.
Well, James, what kind of ridiculous amount of cash would you offer me for me not to take? To let you have this Omar Ibn Hafsun card.
I don't fully understand. I won't say I don't fully understand, but you're kind of talking at a level above me at the moment. What's the?
So I can do two. One of two.
At the moment?
So I can do one of two things. I can, instead of taking the event, I can skip the event, and then you're first on. Where's it gone? This card, which you were looking to get. So I can now kick you out of there, which means you won't get to go there. Or you could offer me a nice bundle of something to allow you to take that card.
And who's going to be going first on that card instead? What'll the actual turn order look like?
It would be me. Yeah. So it would mean
as
before the
black, blue, green, and green has no incentive to do anything but screw with you, basically. So.
Yeah, so my concern, I suppose, we better talk the logic of this. So my concern currently at the moment as the Abbasid player is Baghdad's currently in Fatimid hands, and the Caliphate's in danger. So before the end of Epoch, I would like to try and regain control of Baghdad. However, as Phil's indicated there, my political leadership is going to become fairly rotten fairly soon, so I'm going to lose half my economy. So I could be potentially convinced, or some untrustworthy people might call it bribes.
So I'll be left in the $1 spot.
Yeah. Well, you'd be pushed down to the $3 spot, is what Pork's proposing.
Yeah.
You'd be pushed down to $3, but it means you won't get to go on this card.
Right.
But if we reach an agreement, I'll be left in the $1 spot.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So $4 is what I'd offer.
$4. Let's call it $6.
So again, I don't really understand. I won't say I don't understand the rules, but if I go below 10, so I'm not too sure now which of the two of those is going to be worse to me.
6 is going to cost you a victory point, essentially.
That's fair point. Yeah, it would do. Yeah,
so 4 will take me to the limit.
5 won't because you're getting $1 back, I think, right? Yeah, you're getting $1 back from the pass, so you can give them 5 and not lose a victory point.
It's probably the same outcome though, because I need that dollar to subjugate at least something. One.
Yep.
All right. In that circumstance,
that's the way I'm not too sure.
I'll take the 4.
Sure. I'll put myself to 11. Oh no, I'll put myself to, I don't know what I'm putting myself to, 10, I suppose.
Well, it was 13, wasn't it? Or was it 14?
14.
Yeah.
Okay, 10. I get 4, 23. And I say farewell to Baghdad. And I also get $3 anyway, don't I?
Yes, and then another 3. Yep.
26. Okay, so I'm kind of insulating my economy, so to speak.
Yes. Yep.
That look right?
Yellow gets $1 for passing as well, so they're up. And then yellow also gets to go first, most importantly. So I'm going to put that. And then these guys will come here. And then now we get to see the card for Epoch.
The first Epoch 4 card.
Yeah. And Epoch 4 has some crazy cards in it. Okay, so that. It'll probably be the blandest one you can imagine, but yeah, it is. And you have to go, the pole becomes Catholic. Okay, so Obar, so yellow, you can take the event, or you can take primary only and freeze the event, or you can take primary and special.
I suppose I'll take primary only. Which of the two is it in my interest to subjugate? The revolt or the
You want to do the revolt now because you can flip the green, but then they get to go back underground, right? So in the Epoch phase, everybody goes back underground anyway.
Okay.
So you want to do the revolt because you can collect cash then from there.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll do the revolt. So I've taken off my dollar, delete that, and yep, that's me.
Okay. So it's yellow done, but then the Franks get eliminated.
Okay. Sorry, just getting some water. Okay, I'm back. Franks get limited. Okay, let me see. The Franks. Okay. Pepsi aligned. Didn't get there. Control 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 14. Now, if I limited is primary or secondary.
Yep.
Okay, so if I do something, let me see here. Fire to mission in the Spanish marches, that just goes to Christian, correct? It doesn't go to Latin.
Yeah, you don't have a cylinder there, though.
Oh, I need a cylinder, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
One oddball thing to think about is you maybe try what's it called? A tribute in Saxony there, as an attempt to steal that cylinder away to get another cylinder. That's an idea.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's 50-50. Well, yeah, it's 50-50, isn't it?
Yeah, either gain money or get a cylinder. Yep.
No, my luck, I'll end up with a revolt.
Well, it's not one there anyway. So.
Ooh. Ooh. Hold on a minute. Let me see. Yeah, okay, I'm going to be a bit of a dick. So as the Franks, I am going to activate neutrals.
Yeah, okay.
So I'll just read this out here. Activate neutrals. Opposites is Franks here. Neutrals. Use neutral faction pieces in a location with a hidden neutral cylinder. Activate one neutral cylinder to conduct a neutral action. $1 for each neutral piece used to conduct the neutral action. Now, I probably have to be careful here because I want to have. Oh no, cash isn't really a huge concern on my victory conditions. So, neutral actions. So, neutral actions, we go down here. Location 1 key plus 1 mission key for each neutral base. Don't want to do that. I'm already ready. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to activate the cylinder in Asturias.
Okay.
And I'm going to raid into Andalus with those 2 cubes.
Yep.
Okay. So let's see what we get. Fingers crossed. 4 and a 6. 1, add 1 revolt. Boom. And 6, lose a cube. Okay. And this guy bounces back, correct?
Yep, exactly. And then I cost you 3.
Okay. And that cost me 3 as the Franks. That brings me down to 3. And that's it. That's the Franks done.
Okay. So, Franks are done.
Let's
get limited. And you know what we're doing. I'm going to flip that. Move that to
oh, shit.
And the crisis next. Okay, so that's green done. And then, what do I think? All right, so these guys go over here. 1, 2, 3. That's our last card of the 3rd epoch. See ya. And epoch will be next, but we get to see the cards that are coming up, which was Pork's idea, and I really like it. Ooh, Narwan Canal breached. Okay. So now we do victory points first. So we'll just do 1 at a time. Norse will go first. They don't have a disc. We do control 4, so that's 1. We control 2 in Britain, that's 2. And our econ's not 10, so we did get 2. So we're up to 9 there. Okay. They have an easier time getting points early versus late, I found. So then the Umayyads will count up. Kutuba, yes. 2 discs, no. And Kutuba 7 plus control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So no. Econ of 10 plus, yes. Control of spade, no. So that's 1, 2. 2 victory points for yellow. Brings them up to 6. Fatimids get 5 plus cylinders, yes. Caliphate, assertive, or crisis, yes. Control 1 plus, yes. Econ 10 plus, no. Muslim 9 plus. I don't think we flipped anything, have we?
No, don't think so.
No care for religion. So 3, 1, 2.
We're too busy fighting each other.
No, right? Up to 7. Only pussies care about religion. Abbasids control, nope. Sub and nope. 3 discs, nope, only 2. Control 10 plus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, one short.
Oh, Baghdad was the nail in the coffin for that one. And no Muslim. So 0. Abbasid's got nothing.
I had grand plans at the end of the last epoch that I'd be in Constantinople. Didn't pan out.
Yeah, they don't have the leadership. All right, Byzantines 12. Do we get that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. So no. Orthodox 9 plus. I know I flipped one last time, so yes, they have that one. 3 plus seminars outside Orthodox. That should be yes, right? I didn't move them around. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's good. That's 2 victory points. Cilicia, no. Econ 10 plus is yes. So 3 victory points for the well-managed Byzantines. Up to 8. And then the Franks, papacy, no. Control, yes. Latin, no. Discs, yes, because the papacy one counts, so that's 2 discs. Econ 10 plus, no. So 2 for the Franks, up to 4. And that's victory points done. So next we do the administration. So how that works is, I'll just do that one at a time as well. I'll do the Norse first because they're simple. So you look at the admin rating, which is 4, and then you can pick 4 places you control. I don't control that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and give up Iceland. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if you have a cube in a place you don't control, or you don't administer, I should say, like Iceland, then you lose that. You lose half of any cubes in a place you don't administer. You round that down, so you won't lose a cube there. But then they have to retreat to adjacent, and there's nothing adjacent to Iceland, so they get deleted, and then we lose that. And then you get your income for the places you do administer that don't have a revolt. So Novgorod's 1, Norse is 1, Alba's 0, Northumbria is 1, so they get 3 income. Income up to 9, and that's how you do it. They're just simple. Some guys are not as simple. So, James, if you want to do Umayyads next, they get 6.
Okay, so I pick 6 places that have the yellow.
Yep. You have control of.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
So, do I only control 5 places?
Yep.
Yeah, so you're covered basically.
Yep, yeah. You're covered.
Oh, okay. What?
And then so if you mark, we'll just mark them. That's probably the easiest way to do it. So, like you'd say 1, 2, 3. When you're playing on the tabletop, everybody could do this at the same time. The marking part. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so then you say, all right, I have control of all those, so that's where I'm going to administer. And then you need to look and see, do I have any cubes outside of a place that I administer? So any cubes outside of administration are going to be.
Actually, what about that? What about that disc in Syria?
You don't control it. You got to control the location.
Okay.
Yeah. So you get those 5, okay, and you don't have any discs outside, so you don't have to worry about that bit, so you won't lose any, you don't have any cubes outside, so you don't have to worry about that bit, you won't lose any cubes. And then you get the income for all the places where you do administer. So 3 for Egypt, 3 for Sicily. Al-Andalus has a revolt, so you don't get their money. You get 2 for Cordoba and 1 for Almasat, so 9 total. Add 9 to that, and you're up to 19. Okay, and then Franks will be next.
Okay.
So Pork, you get 7. You control 8, so you're going to have to pick one to lose, essentially.
Okay, Provence.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Provence, the one that I won't.
Gotcha.
The rest,
Okay.
sorry, the rest will be where I'm administering, so to speak. So.
Yep, I follow you. So then you lose half. So you lose 1 in Provence, and then 1 has to retreat from Provence. Okay, and then you lose. There's a guy in Sicily, a cube in Sicily. There, you lose him because you're not administering.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay, and then you just add your income.
Okay, so this is probably nothing because the mountains not there. What we got? Burgundy. 2 in Burgundy, 1 in Aquitaine is 3. 4 in West Francia. 5 East Francia. Can't do it there because of the revolt.
Yep.
Rome 6.
1. Yep.
And that's it, I think, isn't it? 6.
Yep. Exactly.
So that goes to 9.
Okay, it's the Franks are done. Now the Fatimids go. Admin 1. Here's the decision point. We want to
Oh
lose
dear.
2. Yeah. We'll do Baghdad. We're gonna lose all the cubes over there. That's all right. So we'll admin Baghdad. So we lose all these. Not into our empire building yet. This guy can retreat to Baghdad because it's adjacent. Okay, so that's done. And then we'll take the money for. Oh, we don't get money for Baghdad because it's under revolt. So that's it for the Ismailis. And then so now the Abbasids can do 10. So you can do everywhere, right?
Yeah, definitely under 10.
Yep. Just got to make sure you don't have any cubes outside of a place you control. Like the guy in Baghdad has to retreat.
I can retreat onto the Hajj route, though, can't I?
You can go, you can go to, there. You can go to Fars. You can go to Al Jazeera. So you got options.
Actually, you know what? I might do something interesting here. I'm going to put it into Sawad.
Can't do that because you don't control it.
Oh, yeah, it has to be in control. Sorry, yeah. So I can't go to the Hajj route because it's not controlled. So, Fars, yeah.
Yep. Okay, and then just count your income now.
Okay, so we got 1, 2. Can't do it in Al Jazeera. 3, 5, 6, and then the Silk Road is 2, is it?
Yes.
8.
No, 3.
9.
Yeah.
9. 10 then total, I think, is it? See, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6,
9,
9, 10. Yeah.
Yep.
10. So that goes to. Oh, the track's not long enough. So let's flip it. So
30 is going to be the max.
Oh, okay.
Playing around.
Thanks, Phil. Yeah. Thanks for shafting my economy.
Yeah. We were at the maximum.
Corruption.
Okay, so that's the Abbasids done, and then Byzantines can do 12. So I think you can do it. You can administer everyone. So that part's sorted. Let's move because you got Greece there. Let's see. And purple has any cubes outside, so that's fine. Nobody got very adventurous that epoch. And so you just count your income, basically. So you get the income for any place that's not in revolt, which I don't think any of them are in revolt.
3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 12. So 12, and then down in Africa, is that 2?
Yeah, it's worth 2 now. Their economy
so that's
improved.
14.
There you go. Rich Byzantines.
So I'm on 11 up to 23. Let's see which one.
25, right?
You are correct.
Yeah. Okay, so that bit's done. So then now we can discard the leaders from that epoch. Goodbye, fellas. You're all dead. And then we can flip all the cylinders. Reset everything. Oh, we gotta do the revolts too. We'll flip everything. We gotta do the revolt. We got pawns. We got shit all over the place here. Okay. And so then, all right. So then you do the revolt. So how the revolts work is you start with the lowest on victory points. So Franks get to pick first, and any location that has a revolt cube, you can add either one neutral cylinder or one neutral cube to it. So Pork, you get to pick first of the Franks.
Okay, so we will put a neutral cylinder in Andalus.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. And then Abbasids get to do the same. So that's you again, Pork.
Who's it again, sorry?
The Abbasids.
Frank. Oh, opposite, sorry. Okay. Yeah. Neutral cylinder in... No, actually not neutral cylinder. Let me think about this. Yeah, I suppose it has to be neutral cube in Baghdad.
Okay. And then James Umayyad Yellow gets to go next.
Okay, so with neutral, what can be done with neutral cubes? Neutral cylinders can be flipped to
Yep.
neutral
Yeah,
cubes
neutral.
used to raid.
You can march, you can campaign with the neutral pieces in the same location where you flip the cylinder. So, like, the Umayyads, you'd be thinking like in Lombardy, for example. You got 3 there. If you're, if the Franks are trying to come into Spain, you can have that threat in their backyard. So you could flip when you activate a neutral, you could flip the cylinder there, and you can march these 3 into Rome, or you could march them into Provence, or just you could campaign once you marched in somewhere. So
Yeah, I think a cube in Lombardy. I was thinking about, is that Saxony at the north? But yeah, sure, Lombardy. Yeah, so I'll put a cube in. I'll clone that and put that in Lombardy.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a large force there now, big neutral force.
Mm.
Okay, and now green. Bigly. Green is gonna get after Abbasids and Al Jazeera here, and now you've lost it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then, purple, so Byzantines can pick one if they want. You don't have to, though. It's
And I was just going to say, I think Phil is in a case as well that you have to pick. You can only pick one space at a time, one space per action.
The maximum you can add is one piece to one space in this phase.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, we've plenty of spaces.
I was going to clone one of the ones in Jerusalem and put it in Al Jazeera, one of the cubes.
I can't do that because I just put the cylinder there in Al Jazeera. You could put another cube in Jerusalem.
Okay.
But you got to think long term. If you want to target Jerusalem, that might not be the best idea.
So if there's a cylinder and a cube in an area, it can't get, or is it just because some?
Yeah, we can only add one piece to a space in this. So, like, once I added that cylinder to Al Jazeera, we can't add anymore. Yeah, just so it prevents it from throwing 6 neutrals in the one pot.
What is the area between Jerusalem and? Again, my geography is terrible.
Levant. Oh no, Najd.
Levant has a revolt there too, which you could also do if you wanted. Yep.
I think I'll put a cube. Yeah, they're not really. I'm just trying to see what's
Doesn't help you too much.
tremendously Benevento, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, cube or cylinder.
Is there any advice on what would be better in that scenario?
I usually try to
we-
put a cylinder down if there isn't a cylinder, because then you can do something with the neutrals there.
Okay, I'll clone the one there in Rome and place it in there.
Yeah. So now you can activate that cube, you know what I mean? Or you could add more cubes. That's another thing you could do. So, and then the Norse will go last, and we're just going to add one for the sake of chaos. Put it in Saxony. Okay, or pagan friends. All right, so that's done. Everything's flipped. Those cards are gone. So end of epoch is done. So we're on to epoch 4 now. 1, 2. Yeah, draw another event card. Battle of Leckfield. Okay, that was that. So then we pull out our leaders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we'll check leaders to see if there's any at start stuff. So Almaty is the Fatimid leader. At start, add 3 cubes to any one location with a Fatimid cylinder. Okay. You know where that's going. Baghdad. He was the hidden imam that came back. So he's in there, and then Abbasids at start. Add 2 neutral. I gotta zoom in. I think it's 2 neutral cylinders. At start, add 2 neutral cylinders to Baghdad and lose 1/2 of your money. Okay.
Okay, so I go from 30 down to 15.
Yep. And then Baghdad gets some more of a mess going on. Okay, 2 cylinders in Baghdad added. Nicephorus and Samiskis for the Byzantines. Nothing. Duke Rollo. At start, may move 2 cubes to Normandy and set to Christian. If I do this, then I can't raid in France, basically, for the rest of the epoch. And you move cubes from an existing place into Normandy. Do we want to do that? Yeah, we do. Okay, so we're going to move the Scots cubes. We'll lose that. But then we'll gain Normandy. And we'll change it to Christian. And then I can't raid in France at all this turn. Okay, and then auto, nothing at start, but if the papacy is aligned and Rome controlled at the end of the turn, you get to admin 9 instead of 7.
Okay.
And then Adil Rahman III, special, only 1 cylinder is required to build. So usually the Umayyads need to have 3 cylinders in a location to build. This turn, you only need 1. So he's the good builder at adding discs. And he's also their best leader. So military 3, admin 8, musters 2. One thing in the revolt, too, because Baghdad's not controlled by the Khalifa faction, that moves over toward Crisis. It's still Abbasid. They're still holding the caliphate for now.
Okay.
And then the papacy stays in place because Rome is controlled by the Franks and there's no revolt there. Okay? All right. You guys want to keep playing? It's almost 11, so.
I can play on for a turn or 2 more anyway. Yeah.
Play a couple more.
Yep.
Does that work for you?
Yeah, I can keep going. Yeah.
Cool. Ronan's rugby got canceled in the morning, so I don't have to get up. Thank Christ. So. All right. So the event card is Mieszko baptized at Gniezno. This is the Polish king, the Poland. He converted to Christianity. Abbasids get first choice on this card.
Okay, let's have a look here. Okay, interesting. Egypt, Al-Hijaz, Levant. Oh, God. Well, I guess Baghdad is pretty much a lost cause. And I've kind of repositioned myself into Armenia and Cilicia. Feck, Levant's going to be hard to get through.
This is like the Jews have taken over Jerusalem and something. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah. me see. Okay, so let me have a look at the events there. Okay, Franks in Poland doesn't interest me. Poland doesn't interest me. Narrow Canal Breach, remove only coming from Baghdad and so on. That could really hurts the Fatimans. Doesn't really help me though. If I've passed. Franks Free March, don't care about the Franks. So I guess I'm gonna go for primary and special. Now, let me just figure out what I want to do here, how I want to do it. Yeah, I could do that, I suppose. Let me have a look back here at this. So, need cubes as well for subjugation. If I subjugate in Syria, I could basically flip that base to Abbasid.
Not with the subjugate, but
No.
Subjugate just impacts the cylinders and the revolt cubes. But you can Maula there and steal it. You can do the steal one and steal the disc.
Convert piece here on it. I found some during exchange in piece here from the piece. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. So we are going to. Maula in 3 locations in Syria,
Okay.
Al Jazeera, and Armenia Khan.
Okay.
Okay,
Yep.
so we will flip these dudes. I'm going to replace a piece in each of these locations. So in Al Jazeera, I'm going to replace that cylinder, neutral cylinder, with a
black one.
Black one, yeah. Clone. In Armenia Khan, I'm going to get rid of that troop, put in a Abbasid troop, and in Syria, going to get rid of that. Well, I'm not getting rid of it, so to speak, but I'm going to redecorate the mosque in Damascus in Abbasid colors, so to speak.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's Maula, and then I will. So 15. Cubes. Okay. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, gonna march. Okay, so I will. Now, what's this? $1 per march location, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, wherever you destination per destination. Yeah.
Okay, so destination. So Baghdad's definitely going to be a destination.
Okay.
So let us march in a cylinder from Al Jazeera into Baghdad.
Okay.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 1 in from Fars, 2 in from Fars. That makes it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, and then one off the Silk Road into Baghdad to basically give me back control of Baghdad.
Well, I don't think you have control, but I've lost control.
Oh, sorry, yeah, because I don't. Yeah, right. Sorry,
it's neutral on the other side now. Yep, but
okay, and I will Let me see. Let me see. One from. Yeah, no, tell you what I'll do. I'll do it this way. Two. Yeah, one from Fars into Sawad.
Okay.
Two from Najd into Sawad to get control of Sawad.
Sawad is yours. Yep.
Clone that. Two from Syria down into Najd to keep control there.
Yep.
And two from Transcaucasus into Khorasan to take control there.
Yep.
So that would be 1, 2, 3 martial locations. I got that right?
Well, you marched you marched
4,
somebody in
sorry.
Four.
4.
Yeah, just 4, I think.
4. So we leave it at that.
Yep.
So go from 15 down to 11.
Okay. Eventful.
Yeah, just reposition things, just messing with the Fatimans.
Yeah, we'll stole the base too. Okay, so then Byzantines
And taking
James,
the base in.
Yeah, that. So you can muster more there. Anyway, so James, Byzantines get limited or event.
Yeah, I'll probably go for the the limited. What's the situation in Armenia with the revealed cylinder? That basically there's an action there that's required to
You can
place
subjugate
that on
there.
there.
If you subjugate there, you'll remove them because he's already flipped now.
But would it leave the black?
Cube stays. Yeah, so you can only hit when you subjugate. You only hit cylinders or revolts.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You
could also campaign.
Or campaign, yeah.
Yeah, you can campaign. Any hits will go against. You'll go against cubes first, and then cylinders if left over.
Campaign, however, would be an act of war.
If you're thinking of campaigning, the Byzantine military rating is 3, whereas the Abbasid is only 1. So you get to roll 3 dice. Black gets to roll 1, and it's the high roll wins basically. So, and then you do a differential between your high rolls, and that's the number of losses the other side takes.
Though there is also attrition.
Yeah, and there's attrition. Yep. If you roll 5 or 6, you're going to lose a cube. And also, it could backfire on you, and you could roll a 1, and they could roll a 6. So, and then you're going to lose all your cubes that way.
As I haven't seen the mechanic, we'll try campaign. So then, if that's something I'm able to do,
I would campaign there. I think it makes sense. So,
does it require?
Yep. So,
money?
No money to campaign.
Okay.
Because it's a special action.
Okay.
Basically, it just points it to. Let's see if I can pull it up. I'm going to pull it up. Actually, I'm going to pull it up for you guys. Where is the campaign? There's a campaign procedure.
Oh, I see. Yes, I might have that downloaded as well, I think.
Yeah. You basically split into 2 sides, which is easy here because you only have 2 sides. But say in the event that there was a neutral cube there, the neutrals would fight with the Abbasids for this because you're campaigning against them. Okay.
Oh, I see.
And then you both roll a d6 equal to the military rating of the leader. So Byzantines, you get to roll 3.
Sure. Will I do that now?
Yeah, go for it. Okay, so you rolled 1 through 5. And then Pork, you get to roll 1.
Come on, lucky 6, lucky 6.
Good roll, 4. So 4. Okay. So then you take, nobody has a re-roll. Some leaders can get re-rolls, or you can take capabilities will get you re-roll. We don't have that here, so don't worry about that. And then the high roll wins. right? So the Byzantines win because they rolled a 5, and Abbasids rolled a 4. So then you remove a differential between the high rolls from the losing side. So 5 minus 4 is 1, right? So black is going to lose 1, and you have to lose cubes first because it's a military campaign. So the cube's gone first. But then, because Armenia Khan's a B, if the high roll was a 5 or a 6, the winning side also loses a piece. So purple loses 1 in the process. And that's how it works. That's just the basic example of it, but more or less that's how it works. So that's their campaign is done. And now the Norse get to go. Free raids with any pieces in Poland. They're nowhere to get to. I could use some money. I wonder if Pork would the Franks been willing to pay for a cylinder in Poland?
Not especially. I can't really see what massive benefit that would do. They're kind of isolated there, so no, Franks aren't interested in Poland.
Okay, so we're passing then to $3 spots. So do that. Purple goes there, black goes there. Red pass, we get $3 out of the deal, up to 12. Not what I wanted, but I guess that was the best we could do. 2. Miesko is done. Didn't get baptized. Marwan Canal, Luckfield. Majis El Hikmah, Assemblies of Wisdom. $3 for the Fatimids. Okay. I like that one too. I just don't have them spread out. Okay. Narwan Canal breached. We're just going to let somebody take it, I suppose. So green does a primary and special. El Mahdi musters 2. And then we have the Milites capability, which adds another to muster. So I can muster 3 cubes. In a location.
Okay. But you don't control like that.
Yeah, but we control the Euphrates Valley here. Thanks to
Okay.
one power guy we left there.
Oh, worry. So you can muster on those spaces.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Control it. 1, 2, 3. Okay. That's 3. It costs 3. Oh, run low on funds though. 1.
Interesting.
Okay, so that's a muster done, and then we're gonna Dawa, right? After we down this area, what do we do? Ugh. Tricky. All right, we're gonna Dawa. He's not gonna flip. He's not doing anything for us. So do we Maula and just take those? Oh no, I already hit my 7 though. All right. So we Maula. The Caliphate goes from crisis to unaffiliated, basically.
Neutral.
Yeah, neutral.
Is this like a kind of John Paul II in the 70s, kind of a compromise kind of candidate?
Mm-hmm. A lot of what happened was you'd have like a 2-year-old, right? And they'd be saying, "Oh, this 2-year-old is the caliph now of the Arab people," right?
Yeah.
One group would try and install them, and then, but the other thing that undermined them is they brought, for a lot of their soldiers were actually slaves. That's where all the Turks come from. So they would take these Turkish slaves and bring them into the empire and use them as soldiers. And then once the Turks got established, they just started taking shit over. They had nothing to lose. You know what I mean? So they're already slaves. They're using as slave soldiers. And then we Maula in Kurtuba. And we're going to make that Muslim. Dawa mission. Okay, that's it for now. For green. And I paid for my cubes. Yeah, so that's done. So now the Franks can have a limited or an event.
Limited or event. Okay, I just thought of something quite sneaky that I could do and would get rid of a problem. I might rile up the Lombardians
Yep.
and send them to free the peoples of Friuli.
Yep.
So the Franks will take the limited action. We will activate the. Is there 2 soldiers there? Oh, one. Sorry.
No,
There's
it's
2.
just-
That looks weird. It looks like it's.
the second layer. If you zoom in, it just doesn't match quite right.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
The thing
Kind of looks like. Yeah.
Yeah.
So activate that there. Now let's see what I have. Cash. I have 9. So it's 1. Cost me 1 per cube to move. Correct. And I guess I can't move. Yeah. I guess you can't move revolts. It's only military cubes.
Yeah. Revolts can't move. And you pay 1 for the cylinder, so you're paying 1 now, and then however many cubes you add onto it.
Okay. So let's mess with the Byzantines here and send 1, 2.
Yep.
3 into Friuli.
Yep.
Which cost me a total of 4, which moves from 9 down to 5.
Yep. And now the Lombards aren't a problem for Rome either, so it makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah. Kind of. It helps me too. It helps me with France and it helps me with Rome, and it also loses the Byzantines that space in Friuli.
Yep. Exactly.
Because there's a neutral Lombardian army on your doorstep. That's it.
So James, Umayyads can take that event and ding the economy, or they can just pass and gain money themselves.
Where is Sawad?
South of Baghdad.
Yep.
So effectively, you would hurt the Abbasids and just the Abbasids for the moment, because nobody's control of Baghdad, but whoever gets control of Baghdad would hurt them. Or you can get cash for yourself.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be cash. Who have we? We have the. I don't pick which of the 2 I passed is it. I just automatically pass to the $1.
No, you can pick. You can either pass for the $1, which will put you playing on this 3rd card that we can see, or you can pass to the $3. It's blind, so you can't see what card you're passing to, but you get $3.
Mm-hmm. So the $3 would be handy, but I would like to negotiate a what would we call this? I'm not looking for money, but a negotiation of friendship with the Fatimid people who are I think seeking a similar goal to myself. Actually, the 3 of us, the Abbasids, the Fatimids, and the Umayyads have the goal of 15 plus.
Yeah, we do this turn. Yeah,
Muslim places. So I'm happy to let the Fatimid kind of wander around Spain, as long as they're not actually like overthrowing my places. I'm gonna move to the $1.
Okay.
And that's
okay.
me.
So that's done. So that event's done. Narwan Canal stayed intact. Blackfield, just Hikmah, Trans-Saharan Gold Trade is a moneymaker. I could use that as the Fatimids big time. So blue goes here, green goes here. The Norse get to pick Leckfield. Moravia. Add 2 neutral cubes to Moravia, then free neutral march and campaign into Bavaria. Man, it's just hard to know what's going to be the better long term. To undermine the Franks or build myself. All right, we'll do primary and special because I already had a plan in mind. with Rolo here, and we're going to do March into Novgorod. Oh, wait, I need to check. This is right, though. Build is not a special, I don't think. I'll have to build next time. No, I got to do it, though. Okay, anyway, just talking to myself. Just emissary those together. Oh, they don't have the emissary. That's right. Okay, March there. This costs 1. Campaign doesn't do a whole lot for me there or there. I think we're just going to march. Now I'm wondering if I should just take the event. Okay, I'm going to back up. I'm going to take the event. So put the money back. Put that cylinder back. Take the event instead. Okay. Add 2 neutral cubes to Moravia, then free neutral marching campaign into Bavaria. Can't campaign, but we can have 2 cubes to Moravia and march 3 cubes into Bavaria. There. Okay, for free. So the Bavarians fight back. That's done. So then now Byzantines can take a primary and special, or they can take a limited.
Some build up of neutral force in Bavaria and Friuli.
Yeah, that's yeah. The Germans.
Okay. So what have we? The primary and special, or the limited? I suppose we'll go for the primary and special.
Mm-hmm.
So the primary. The primary would be muster, subjugate, activate neutrals, build, treaty, and march.
Yep.
And then the special is okay. Just checking the special.
Yeah, no bother. No rush.
Reposition cylinders. Move Byzantine cylinders between adjacent locations or between any cities. Adjacent locations or any cities. So I'm just trying to see where they are at the moment. I have one in Bulgaria, one in Friuli, and one in the heel of Italy.
Yeah, I should have. You can. It's the themata should be either. Oh, you're talking. I'm sorry, emissary. I'm looking at the wrong one. Yes. Yeah, so they can all move adjacent, basically. All your cylinders can move one adjacent space, and you don't have to pay to move them.
Okay, I'm just trying to think of the special more so than anything.
Yep.
Activate one cylinder and add the province's economy. So tax is interesting, but how would I get those cylinders back on their ground then?
Then you can emissary later on and hide them.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And for the themata,
Mm-hmm.
how many cubes can I move?
Unlimited.
I can.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
And you can also pull any back to Constantinople that aren't adjacent to. So, like, say if you were like, all right, I'm done with Calabria, for example, you could take
Yes.
those 2 cubes and pull them back to Constantinople and Ethemata, and also move adjacent as well. You know what I'm saying? So,
I could move them back to Constantinople and then move them 1 square or 1 region. Is
they
that what you're
can't
saying?
they can't move any further. But so say you could say, all right, I'm gonna. How I've done it is first I would muster, right? So I'm like, all right, I'll muster first, and I'll put a bunch of cubes in Constantinople, and then I'll spread them. You know what I mean? They can go to put a guy in Armenia Khan or Anatolia Khan, or you can go out to Dalmatia, anything adjacent. And then also you can pull back. So these guys from Calabria could pull back. They just can't move any further once they pull back. But once, you know what I'm saying, you can move these 2 guys on from Constantinople anywhere in the adjacent empire. So you can pretty much rearrange almost anything.
Okay. Because I haven't gotten to do the activate.
That's a whole nother idea. Yep.
Neutral. So what I want to do is activate the cylinder in Bavaria and move those 3 cubes into East Francia.
Yep. Yep. You can do
that's
that.
What I'm thinking of for the
because,
primary, and then I'm
because you're doing. Hang on, I gotta look at something. Just double check myself here. Yeah. Oh, activate neutral as a primary, but because you're doing primary plus special, you could do that in any number of spaces, right? So as long as you're willing to pay the money to do it, I mean, you could activate them in Bavaria, and you could activate them in, I don't know, anywhere. You know what I mean? These guys in Jerusalem or Baghdad, you can go all over the map with neutrals. You just have to pay for each piece of use. So at some point you start running out of money, but
yes,
you can do a lot in one turn with neutrals though if you do that.
Okay, didn't actually spot that. So is it 1 to activate the cylinder and then 1 for each cube?
Yeah. Yep.
So we're talking about 4, 7, and just
Yeah, and another nefarious thing you could do is you could march the guys out of Bulgaria if you had eyes on Bulgaria. It's another idea. I don't know. There's a ton you could do with the neutrals. So.
Okay, I did not fully anticipate that. Yeah, well spotted. We'll say, because I believe that's one of my goals. So that is exactly what I might do. My apologies now for.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Slowing things down.
Like I said, take your time, especially when you have the big move. You know what I mean? It's like, man, you really need to think about
it.
What do I want to try and accomplish? You know, usually can't accomplish everything you want to, but
okay. So I'll activate this one in Bulgaria. So that's 1, and then I'll move the 2 pieces. That's 3, and I'll activate the 1 in Bavaria. So that's 4, and then 5, 6, and 7.
Yep.
So I'm on 25, so I'm down to 18, if I am correct.
Yep. And the Franks just lost East Francia. Sorry, that was me clicking around there. Yeah, that worked.
And for the Themata. Yeah, I'll pull these 2 back. So then from the south of Italy to Constantinople.
Okay. Yep.
And am I able to move more? I don't think it makes a difference.
You could pull out of North Africa too if you wanted, but I mean, I don't think I would, because you're holding that at no cost kind of right now.
Yeah.
There just hasn't been much activity in North Africa.
Unfortunately enough, I need Sicily, which means I have to go to war with myself probably at some stage. And that's the only place I can cross from at the moment, I think, if I'm I think I'm going to say that's me. There's probably more I could do, but I'm going to say that's me. Oh yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's just a matter if he wanted to move onward from Constantinople and bulk up the border, you know.
Yeah. I didn't think about that actually. Moving those units out of Bulgaria.
You know, and I would think maybe like at this point, the Fatimids and the Byzantines are maybe thinking of working together to pick apart the Abbasids.
Very true. That was my primary goal, was pushing towards that war goal that I have to the south of Armenia. That was the main idea. But I have Armenia, Bulgaria, or not Armenia, but that location there, south of Armenia, Bulgaria, and Sicily.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so you do have some work to get done. You need cubes. You really need cubes, probably. You know what I mean?
Yes,
to be able to cover all the. So maybe mustard next.
Yeah, I was getting a good chunk of like being in second and fifth position. So I think this is the first big move I've made, but I've actually only taken the initiative option once, and that was after skipping with the Umayyads. So they're kind of in first place now. So it is interesting how it kind of, I won't say compels you to skip, but it can be beneficial to skip to put yourself in the lead position.
Yeah, sometimes
and I do like having the 2 skip options.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you just need to pass, like you said, so you can get a initiative at some point. Or sometimes you want to get away from people that you're working, you know what I mean? Like if green and black right now are in the same eligibility section, it might be beneficial to pass and get off each other. So, all right, so
very well put together.
Pork's phone died, but he said he's coming back, so I'll send him the link there. So let me think. Who am I going to be next? Green. See, I don't think I don't know.
He's waiting for you to let him in.
Oh, shit. I got to do that. I forgot.
It's an interesting system. I haven't used this before.
It's outrageous. Outrageous.
Sorry. I forgot I had to hit that to let you back into the thing. Yes, this is nice. This is actually free too, for up to 20 hours. So like if you don't use it that much, I guess.
Oh well, like 20 hours a month, is it, or something? Or
20 hours a month. This is what we use for my baseball podcast. Govia uses StreamYard for everything. And when you do like the premium, like right now you can just go to one source, but if you do the premium one, you can stream to like everything. If that makes sense. You know, you can have it'll send a stream to YouTube and Twitch and Twitter all at once. So
yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it's more expensive now than it used to be. I think it's $20 a month now for the premium. It was $10 at one point, but
okay,
but it's pretty handy. It's all web based, which is nice too, and it's pretty easy to use. So
I guess it's me up, is it? Abbasids.
Yeah. So Abbasids are up. The Byzantines sent an envoy to the Bavarians, who
see that there,
looking to their birthright of the Palatine states or whatever the hell it is over there.
Okay, looks like.
And then also the Byzantines sort of rearranged, so they pulled back from Calabria, their military power, back to Constantinople. So
okay, cool. Abbasids. Okay, so Abbasids are either limited or they could pass and trade $3. Let me see. Don't care what the French do. Fatimids conduct free. What's a dawa? Is that the
that's
don't
mission.
Really,
that's a mission.
Don't really want that to happen, do I? But that's the next card. So
that's just the religion. It doesn't.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, they would give me. No, it's got to be provinces, so I can't do it in the Caliphate track.
Yeah. Okay. Limited. Let me think. Let's have a look at this. Who's my leader? Muqtadir and Saida. Okay, Garbage, military garbage muster ratings.
This is the low point for the episodes.
Let me think here. No, it's not worth it. I'm just going to pass. Take the 3 books.
Okay. Done
Which
and
gives me back
dusted.
up to 14.
Yep. And then
Now we're
Umi's
done.
Yep, right. So they're up to 20. Because they're in the pass zone there too. Do. Slide our cylinders back over. Now, oops. Did that wrong. God damn it. There we go. Okay, and now left field is done. Majis Al Hikmah, Transparent Gold Trade. Husun, which is one for the Umayyads to think about. Capability one. Okay. So now Umayyads are up first. Majis Al Hikmah.
So I'm thinking of the primary and special
Yeah.
again to waste more of everyone's time thinking.
No, that's
I
fine.
thought that I was going to be. So what are we for the special?
It's really not a problem. And not to throw a monkey wrench into things, but you want to look at the Hasoon card too. Because that's a capability that either works for the Umayyads or hurts the Umayyads. So
What's at the? Or they only roll a 1d6 while defending on campaign, regardless of the military rating.
yeah. So like right now you have Abdal Rahman III has a 3 military. But hey, the Franks took that card. You would only be rolling 1d6 when getting attacked instead of 3.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But we'll say if I take the pass here, $3 to take that, France could still actually push me out of that, could they? Or would they have to take the?
Let me think. So
plus
you
one.
would pass to. Let me see. Run this one. So you'd pass to first to get $1. You'd be first on this card.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, blue and green can't push you out now because you passed. So no one else can pass on this card. One of black, purple, or red could push you out.
No,
I
I
don't
see.
think they would, though. It's really blue is your biggest threat militarily. So, but then the flip side is then you give up the big turn, though, too. You know. So it
Yeah.
just depends. You have your best leader right now in the game. That's the other thing. So. He's good for fighting.
So that's the special. And what is the primary? What is my card?
Actually, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go take a whiz. Too much information.
Okay. Oh no, that is. I keep thinking with campaign that you can move and fight, but you can't.
No, so campaign is just your actual action in that space. So now you can do, though I don't know if you can reposition your pieces with a secondary, so you could do your special before your primary, if you know what I mean. If that helps you to move stuff.
Yeah.
What you could also do, which might help you, is activate neutrals.
Yeah.
It can help you
So
kind of position them, or kind of, what's the word? It depends on the situation, I guess, or where you are or where they are.
mhm.
They could help you in that circumstance as well, if they're in that space or near that space. But yeah, campaign is in the. I'm very sure it is. Let's check it again here. It is in the same. No, actually, campaign is a secondary action, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So special action campaign. So you could, given that your primary secondary, you can march and then campaign,
Mhm.
or
Well,
muster.
yeah, that's mustering is definitely going to happen. So it's probably going to be muster in March, I think. Or no, I can't do that, can I?
No, that's what I'm saying. So it's muster or march, because they're primaries.
Yeah.
But you could muster, or so you could march and campaign, or you could muster in a space and campaign in that space. Depending on where it was. The only thing is, in Al Andalus, you can't muster because there's a revolt there.
No, I see.
If it is, yeah, it's the only, isn't it? You could muster in or march from Egypt, but you probably don't want to do that because you lose control. You might also want to think about that that cylinder, that Fatimid cylinder in Cortuba. Could hurt you.
No, the Fatimids are friendly.
I'm back, guys.
The friendly Fatimids.
They're good people. I like them.
For now.
Until they teleport more cylinders into Cordoba and then just transform Cordoba into a Fatimid city.
What? We would never do that.
What does the teleportation, quote unquote teleportation, represent? Is it the political ideas or political influence?
I called it emissary, but the idea is like, if it's a small, like a smaller group of administrators or diplomats or something, they should be able to move around between the city centers pretty freely.
Yeah.
So like each card's like 5 years.
Yeah.
So I think it's how I rationalize it. I think it works like design for effect. It definitely works because you need to be able to move around that quickly with them. Especially if somebody's getting close to getting victory condition. Like, I can't now. The games are blending together, but I can't remember if it was this one where we pushed into Baghdad at the beginning or what. But
yeah, it was this one, I think. Yeah.
What had happened? Like, the Volga Bulgars are up there, and there's only like event cards really that's going to trigger that. But in real life, the Fatimids sent emissaries up to the Volga Bulgars that converted them to Islam. So they were literally all over. At least like the diplomats were. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's plenty of diplomatic
contact,
communication. Contact between the different. So whereas the cube, you can't really do it with the cubes. Like you couldn't move your military around like that. But
okay, one last second.
Take your time.
Now there might be too many cylinders. Like you know what I mean? Like 7 might be too many for a max. That could be.
Too many? I don't think so. I think it feels about right. It's sometimes you feel like you want to do more because given that fact that when they flip you have to get them flipped back again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The other thing is you need to be able to I think it needs to be like if you campaign, say yellow wants to campaign against green and I only have cylinders there. I should roll like only 1s or something. You know what I mean? Like some kind of, you need to bring it. You got to be careful screwing around with too many cylinders in a place where you don't have any military presence type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, what I'm thinking is subjugate in El Andalus and
Mhm.
possibly a naval raid from Sicily on Rome. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
It says march a raid along sea routes, move cubes into
Yeah.
adjacent sea routes, roll against the sea routes navigation value if the result is greater, and then roll on the chart. So I'm not too sure if a naval raid from Sicily on Rome is a great idea.
It'll hurt the Franks potentially. It'll make you money potentially. And if you're naval raiding because you're doing primary plus special, you can do in multiple locations. So Almazat has you can hit Provence, but you can either take money or wind up moving cubes there to take the province too. So another idea.
Okay, yeah. I don't think there's much I can do with the activate neutral in there to the right of El Andalus.
No, you could just add one cube, one neutral.
You can
Yeah.
muster, yeah.
Yeah. Which isn't super helpful, I would agree. You could, I mean,
Yeah.
you could think about marching and campaigning in there. You do have an advantage to campaign right now because your military is better rated than the
Yeah.
Franks. And you roll 3 dice no matter what. So like you could just march 1 cube in, but you're still rolling 3 dice. So the number of dice you roll is totally dependent on your leader. Has nothing to do with the number of cubes you have there.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So if you're just trying to do damage and not worry too much about controlling it right now, that's an idea too. But then you have that, like you said, that revolt to deal with there.
Yeah, that seems to
which
be.
they fired on you last time.
That worked out nice, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Bit of a thorn in your side.
Well, now you have to worry about the Christians in Spain because they could pop up again. Like, the Franks could add a cube in Asturias and a cube in Al-Andalus, and then you got real problems you got to deal with.
And what about my emissary then? Move your cylinders between adjacent locations because I'm not too sure what benefit I'm getting at the moment from them being. Because I only seem to have one, and they're on. I think it's the Holy Site
Yep.
or the Holy Route.
The Hajj route. Yeah.
Yep. They're on the Hajj route. You probably want to move them.
Fairly useless at the minute.
But if you get them into the Levant, then you can do the special action where you steal that neutral cylinder, and nobody else is really going to prevent you from doing it. And then from there, they could go into Jerusalem, and then from Jerusalem, they can warp back to Spain. So, yeah, they should probably get moving. I think that would be a good move. You could also pay to march if you wanted to march pieces around. So, like, you could do a march as your primary and march him there and do whatever marching you wanted to do in Spain. And then for your special, you could do the Maula, where you steal pieces, and you could steal that cylinder now. You know what I mean? So, another idea. There's a lot of things you can't do. You just can't do them all. So that's the tricky part of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. None of them are bad. I think a naval raid on Rome is probably a good idea. Campaigning is not a bad idea. So
I think I'll subjugate and naval raid. That was the first idea that came to mind. I think leaving that card up, the only roll a 1d6 is probably a bad idea, but I'm not too advanced to deal with that at the moment. So what subjugate is 1, I believe, is it? Do I pay 1 or 2 as the only ads?
1.
Yep. So many.
Pay per location.
Oh, and I could do it in multiple, but I don't actually have any. So I'll pay
pay
1
Yeah.
for the Omeads. I'll get rid of that revolt, and I will naval raid.
You can flip the cylinder because you have 4 cubes there. You can flip the cylinder too, so you get 2 results there. You can flip that neutral.
Do I flip it automatically?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then if you wanted to pay to do it in Egypt, you could do the same thing in Egypt and flip that neutral there. It doesn't matter if you want to pay to get that off your plate there.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm paying how much?
Just 1.
1, and so moving. I'm moving the yellow into the Levant. Oh no, I'm sorry. I see what you're saying. No, I'm flipping this one here in Egypt. Yeah.
Yeah. And then that way, nobody can recruit more cubes behind you in Egypt there.
Okay. So is that the turn in total, or do I still have the
Nope.
the special?
Yep. Now you can do naval raid for your special if you want.
Perfect. I'll do that. So then, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do I do? Pick the number of cubes?
So, yeah, it's up to you. I would just put like if you want to do try 2 raids from Sicily to Rome, I would just put them on the thing on the naval route there, and then you have to. So first you have to roll 5 or less for each cube because that's the rating to see if any of your guys died while doing the naval raid, and then you roll. So one of them did.
So,
So you lose a cube there. And then for the surviving cube, you roll a d6 on the raid chart off to the left, and you just get the result. That's good.
2. Remove 1 piece. Space at last. Gain $2.
Yeah. So you pick which Frankish piece. You could take the cylinder out of Rome, for example.
So I gain $2.
Mm-hmm.
And then pick a piece. Yeah. So I suppose any Frankish. Oh, I can pick a cylinder or a cube. Is it?
Yep. Exactly.
Is there a priority?
I usually try to take the cylinders out because they're more valuable long term. They're
I'll go
too
for
hard.
the
They're hard
cylinder.
to get back. So, yep.
Yeah, I'll go with the cylinder. So then, and finally, probably the longest turn that you've had to put up with so far is finally over.
No, that's okay. If you want, you can raid from Almasat into Provence too. If you wanted to try that, it's up to you. You could.
Oh, yeah.
The best case scenario, you make $2. Worst case scenario, you lose the cube. You know what I mean? So
Might as well.
You have to pay $1 to try it. Okay, so the 4, so the raid works, so he gets over the navigation. So then you got to roll again. And a 4, add a revolt. So you add a revolt into Provence, which isn't bad at all.
I'll
actually.
copy this one from.
Yep. Something else for the Franks to have to deal with in the neighborhood there.
Will I delete that cylinder from Rome, or?
Yeah. Yep.
Do somebody else want to do it, or okay?
Yep. There you go.
And okay. And do I need to pay anything there for that last one? No. Were you saying?
You pay no, because it's special, so you don't pay anything.
Okay.
You
Perfect.
don't have to pay to do their raids. I forgot that. So yeah.
And that is me done.
Did some piracy, did some governing. I think it was effective.
Got to see a lot of the mechanics anyway. So yeah. Or the last 2 turns. Well, certainly I got to see a lot of the mechanics.
You kept Sicily too. So yeah, I mean, I don't think that was bad at all. All right, so Franks can have a limited or they can have an event.
Or we could pass.
Or you can pass. Yeah, that too.
I think I'm quite low on cash. I'm like $5. Well, don't really care about the event. Limited. What could I do short term here? No, I got to pass, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to pass to the $1 space.
Okay. So that puts the Franks up on Hassoun in the primary spot, in the initiative spot in that one. So green's going to take a limited then. And we're just going to get the Caliphate.
Don't want the event?
Nope.
Okay.
Because I'm not in provinces, so I'll flip. We have the Caliphate for now. Okay. Now the Caliphate can move too, so if I get Cairo, I can move it out of Baghdad and into Cairo.
Actually, there's an interesting question I was just thinking about when you're talking when that naval raid happened in Rome. For example, what happens if, say, let's just say the Umayyads or I don't know the Fatimids took Rome and turned Rome Muslim? What happens to the papacy?
Right now, I still have it being the papacy in Rome, But like,
Right.
I played a game where the Umayyads had Rome for a
Yeah.
bit, and what really had happened by then is the papacy had went to neutral. If that makes sense.
Right.
So
Okay.
no other factions really have a incentive for controlling it.
Mhm.
So it's like the local Romans just took over, which kind of happened anyway. Took over in the Lateran, and they just stayed on the neutral, and the Franks were getting any benefit from it. But yeah, you wouldn't have like an Umayyad papacy. You could have a Byzantine one, I suppose, if you wanted. But it does. You don't get it. The Byzantines don't get any benefit from controlling it. You know what I mean? That's a good question, though. It's something to definitely think about.
It's probably a bit of a stretch, though. Even I think even even taking Rome itself and then holding on to Rome and then having to get moved to Muslim is like still a bit of a stretch.
I had an Umayyad Rome, like just control. I don't think I moved their religion at all.
Yeah, because you're spending all your time trying to hold on to it, I guess.
Yeah, it was getting toward the end of the game, and so the Umayyads were just trying to win because they weren't going to win victory point. So then I was like, all right, so here's what we got to do. So it just didn't work, I guess. Yeah, all right. So that's all the Fatimans do for limited. I go to secondary. No, we went last, right? Oh, but we don't get to go.
Yeah.
So Blue's going first. All right. So then the Abbasids go first. You guys up for doing another card?
Yeah, I can do it.
Almost midnight.
Yeah, sure.
So we do one more. Okay. Forest Focus. That's a good one. That's a way you can get back in to the islands, right?
Ooh, I'd want to roll to Constantinople.
Yeah, which becomes a big pain for the Byzantines down the road, especially if they spread out their military. They don't keep it at home.
See that free march into free march in? Is it into 2?
Yeah. Okay.
But
this so you can get to Cyprus, Crete, Cilicia, Algeciras.
Right.
And treat Cyprus and Crete as adjacent to any location with a naval route.
Interesting.
Constantinople, Anatolikon, Thrace, Hellas, yada yada. As the game goes later, there's more cards like this. So like by the 8th epoch is like when the Crusades is happening, and there's cards where if you're adjacent to the Mediterranean, you can march to Opsikion like it's adjacent, or you know what I mean. So more warping, I guess, can happen. Okay, so Abbasids get to go first on the Trans-Saharan gold trade.
Okay, dash add 5 to either Umayyads or Fatimids. Definitely wouldn't want to give it to that Fatimids. 2 to the faction, but then just give me cash. It's not very sexy. And I've got a caliphate to be worried about.
You don't have a caliphate to worry about anymore.
Well, things could.
You have the Shia caliphate started already.
Things could change. Phil. Let me see. So, okay. So a neutral action is a primary action, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay.
Meaning you can do it all over the place if you want to, if you have the money to pay for it.
Here is an interesting question. So could I, in theory, could I activate the neutral cylinders in Baghdad onto the Caliphate track?
Yes.
And then use them to convert?
Yes.
But they'd convert to neutral pieces. Would they already convert to... would they convert to Abbasid pieces?
Yep. They'd flip it to neutral. You need an Abbasid piece to flip it to an Abbasid, but...
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, they can flip that from crisis to neutral.
But I could march them. Oh no. Yeah, I could do activate neutrals, march them onto that track, and then I could actually shift that back, couldn't I, to neutral, the actual caliphate itself.
Now, right now there's, number one, I don't control Baghdad. And number two, there's a revolt there. So if either of those hold, this caliphate's going back to neutral. at the end of each
Right.
arm.
Okay.
So that's
Okay,
another
because
thing.
it has to be,
You know what I mean?
has
See
to
if
be
it's-
in your control. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I've got to control that. Now I could, but I got to deal with two problems to get there, which is kind of what I'm thinking I'm going to spend my turn doing. But
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
then the problem is if you spend your turn doing that, then you're not doing the other stuff too. So anyway.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, let me have a look here. And there's okay. Should really look at this at card again. See absence. Egypt. Egypt and Levant. Okay. As Baldric would say, I have a cunning plan. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry. Oh, whoops. Sorry, I'm having an internal debate here.
Yeah, no problem.
Activate neutrals in a location, so it's one neutral cylinder, isn't it? It's not
Yes.
multiple neutral cylinders. Yeah, okay.
You just need one neutral cylinder there to be able to do anything.
Mm.
But if you got two cylinders, that's fine. You just activate one of the two. You know what I mean?
Okay, so we'll activate neutral. So we'll activate the cylinder in the Levant.
Okay.
That cost me one, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and then they are going to march these 3 cubes into Egypt.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which takes away control for the Umayyads.
Yep.
That cost me 4.
Yep.
Brings me down to 10. And that was my activate neutral was my primary. And for secondary,
And you could do a bunch if you wanted to. You just got to pay for them. You can do more locations. You're not limited to one location.
it says in a location.
Yeah,
A location with a hidden cylinder. Okay. Okay.
It should say in any number of locations.
Okay. Sorry. When I said A, I thought it was Okay. So.
Yep. You could do it anywhere in the map. I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah. Let me see here then. Okay, that changes things slightly then. So hold on, go back here. So then, if I activate another cylinder in a different location, I can do a different neutral action. Is it not? It's not tied to the same. Right? Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Yep. Each one can do something different. Yep.
Okay.
Once neutral cylinders have been flipped, is there any way of them unflipping?
No.
Or is it just at the start of the next epoch?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So you really want to be careful of these events that add multiple neutral cylinders to a location. That's key, because then you know what I mean? If you have like 3 neutral cylinders in a location, they could be going off the whole epoch turn. Whereas if you only have one there, they can only do one thing to you,
Okay, so I'm going to let me see, what cash have I got left here? I need to be careful, I guess. 10. In a location. Could you do 2 neutral actions with 2 separate? So, for example, like that as an example. See here?
Yep.
Could you do a separate action with both of these? Or is it once you've done one, is it one per space?
You could trigger both, right? So you could flip
Okay.
one. Yeah. For each cylinder that you flip, you pick a neutral action to do, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we'll do then is, in that case, neutral action, we will. What's it called here? Here, see, it is. Yeah. Okay. So we will activate one of the neutral cylinders in Baghdad to muster there another cube.
Okay.
Which let me see here. Baghdad's getting busy.
Yeah.
That cost me 2.
Yeah.
So I'm down to 8.
Yeah.
And then I will do another neutral action in Baghdad. And this will again, let me see, what was it doing again? I was expelling. So it says activate a neutral cylinder in a location and remove 1 enemy piece for every 2 neutral cubes in that location.
Yep.
So I will do that.
Yep. And expel a Fatimid.
And get rid of a Fatimid cylinder. Okay.
Yep.
So that's just my neutral actions.
Yep.
Did I pay for those?
Yes. No.
I did.
Oh yeah, you did.
2 for the first one, 1 for the next one. That was it then, I think, wasn't it?
Yep.
And then, so that was my neutral action, which was my primary. So I have a special.
Yep.
Okay, let's have a look. And I think from my primary, I'm looking at special. No, sorry, it's second special, isn't it? Yeah, special. Yeah, why not? I'm gonna campaign in Najd.
Okay.
Do I want to campaign anywhere else? Yeah, campaign in Najd and campaign in El Hajj.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, maybe I'm doing so odd. It's not going to cost me anything, is it?
No, campaign's free.
No. Don't. Oh, actually, hold on. Fatimid. What's Fatimid's military rating? Like 2. Yeah, a bit risky like that. Yeah, we'll just do it in those 3. So here, here, and here.
Okay.
So I've got a roll of 1, I think, isn't it? It's 1 to 1, is it?
Yes, you got 1 each. Well, hang on.
Okay, so
because there's no cubes. Yeah, 1 each. 1 each. I need to think about this though.
So I'll do the first one down here.
Yep.
El Hajj. Roll for myself first. I get a 5, and I roll for the neutral 3.
All right, so 2 hits.
2 hits, and it is a C, is it?
Yeah. Or a B.
So
Either way, you're losing a cube.
yeah. So get rid of that cylinder. Get rid of that cube.
Yep.
Okay. So this one next.
Yep.
So me first. Shit. 1. Oh my god. I get wiped out there.
Yeah, you do. Now,
Oh
the
my-
revolt is gone, though.
What?
The revolt is gone, though, too, because they take a hit for rolling the 5.
My god.
Yeah.
Okay. And so odd. I just had a flashback to my RUC assaults in troubles.
Jail.
So me again first. So 4 versus the neutral.
Ah. Each lose 1, basically.
Each lose 1.
It's an A. Sorry, just black loses 1. Yeah,
Oh my god! So I lose control of that.
Yeah.
So I just screwed myself basically.
Yeah. If you campaign when you only have 1 die, it's a complete crapshoot, basically.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It could have worked. It could have worked the opposite way too.
True. Yeah, it could have been a genius move, but no. And that's me done.
Okay, so
Sorry, I didn't move.
So then Byzantines can do a limited, or they can take the event.
So I really want this Nicephorus Puka, as I'm going to call him, for the Kosh will save a revolt in Constantinople. It's giving a free march, and so what does a free march and campaign mean?
So you could march into a space and conduct the campaign there.
And no cost.
In the 2 of those spaces. Now, you don't have to campaign, but you can. So, like, you could do, I guess, Cilicia maybe is a target there for you. And then you could march into Cyprus or something.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, do I go on the pass 3?
Yep. So, pass to 3, that one would be. So, you get $3 in process 2. So, now red can play a little bit. I don't know what we're doing. Oh, what am I doing here? Oh, what do I do? Oh, hang on, I'm freezing. Oh, my vassal just froze on me.
It's a pity both the Umayyads and Fatimids had their weren't on this card. Both of them are on the other card, or on the other track.
I was thinking as the Norse, I'd still take the event. You just try and work a deal, so you get some of the action. But would one of you guys save the game because my vassal just froze?
Yeah, sure.
I don't think I've hit save once. Played for 3 hours.
What am I calling the save file?
Whatever works for you. Just make sure we put
EotM. Absence rock.
There you
go. Do I need to save it as? No, just save it as.
Yeah, vsave, I think it's called. Maybe is the file type.
Should just save my default. I'll just make sure it does.
I think it does, yeah.
Down. Okay, save. So let me just make sure. Yeah, vsave, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to close it because it's still. The Java died on my computer here. Looks like. So let me see if I can get back in. See how this works. I think I can. Maybe. There it goes. Okay, look for game online. Yeah, I should be able to get back in there. Yeah, it works. Okay, cool. All right, I'm back. Wasn't too bad. Okay, and so red. Limited event. So we're gonna do the limited. We don't care about the event that much. Need a muster. It's either 2 or a 1. 1. I really killed off a lot of my cubes. That's the Norse. Okay. Do we want to go for France or do we want to go for Russia? Russia looks like an easier target. Okay, so Novgorod, we're going to muster there. That's going to spend $1. Okay, and that's us. Oh, I do want to march, though. Fuck me. God damn it. I should do it the other way around. Change my mind. We're going to march this cylinder to Novgorod for $1. Okay. So it's going to be us played. Then we go to secondary. Black goes to primary. Purple gets $3 for passing. 2, 3. And then blue gets $1 for passing. So they're up to 7. And these guys shift there. And these guys shift over to 4, 5, 6. And we'll look at the next card. Lost that thing there. So no gold trade. Husun up to card A. Pukas up to B. And Resamundus. Okay, into C. And I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote. Maybe pause here, and then we can just try and play another time. That sounds okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Let me just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's the Resamundus is the 8th card in the 4th. So we made some progress, really. Almost put $2 worth.
Flying. It's interesting how the Middle East region has really it's kind of up in the air.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the Fatimid, you played the Fatimids faster into the Middle East than historical, basically, which is fine. It just makes for a different game. So now I'm thinking I think I still want to just do what I'm doing and try and hold that position versus going to North Africa. I think it makes sense. I can get the caliphate, but we'll see. It might have been a bad move too. Either way, there's more conflict in space, so that's fun.
Yeah, but it's certainly interesting. There's so many pieces now in Baghdad. Like, there's so many things that can happen even around the area.
Yeah. I know. So I got a 2 military leader this turn, and then next turn I get a 3 military leader. So.
Right. Okay. They ramp up basically.
Yeah. And then they have one more 3 military leader too. So the Fatimids can be military power for the second half of the game. So I'm feeling okay as long as I can keep the cubes out. And you took that Milites card, which helps get the cubes out too. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, from earlier. Now that was pretty early on. That was Epoch 1, was it?
Yeah, I think so. That one worked out well. Norse, I played completely poorly. But also I basically need to see if I can get him back to.
Because I don't know whether you know what you hadn't used there, and I was looking at this before with the other game, and I haven't used it yet, but it looks quite useful. Is moving those cylinders around to possibly use dynastic marriage to kind of spread out
and hamstring other people.
Yeah, and take over, because I'd say you could possibly snowball as the Norse doing that kind of thing.
Yes,
especially in Eastern Europe or Russia.
Yes. Yep. Like the last game I played with them, I had Russia, and I had like Normandy and West Francia, and then I was halfway to conquering Britain. That just didn't roll well. And I had pieces in Calabria too, so like it can be done. It's, I don't know. Yeah,
there's an interesting piece as well with here Ireland with these routes into Spain as well.
Yep.
Could make it quite interesting.
Yep. Dublin didn't come out this game. When Dublin
I think
for the Vikings,
I can't remember, was it this game or the other game? I think it was this one, wasn't it? I think I made sure it didn't come out.
Yes. Yep.
As the Franks, I think, because they obviously wanted base in Ireland.
Yep. Yeah. The last one I played, the Vikings had Ireland the whole game. basically. Once Dublin came out, build Dublin, you get a base, get enough cubes there, and then you're basically isolated over there, so.
Oh, what I meant to ask you was, sorry, in relation to the cards per epoch. So how many in total are there per epoch?
12 will come out.
Yeah, so sorry, what I meant was you have 12 coming out per epoch, but how many cards do you have do all the cards come out, or is it the case that there's so many don't get?
Yeah, I've got it down now. I actually made the edits, so I have 24 cards in each epoch.
Yeah.
And so what I try to do is I tried to make it so there was like 12 cards that impact as many of the factions as possible.
Yeah.
And then 2 for each faction for the other 12. You know what I mean? Like 2 like more specific to the faction. So
yeah. So what I mean is, like, will you always see those 24 cards then? Or is it a case, is there a variable whereby you'll see 20 out of 24, so there's 4 that potentially might not ever come out?
You only see half of the cards each epoch.
Getcha, okay.
Yep. And so then the idea is that if you want to play a short game, it'll be a Epoch 4 scenario.
Yeah.
And it's 2 turns, and you'll use all 24 cards potentially. Does that make sense?
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, no, and it's more from a variability point of view.
Yeah.
Similar to like what you call it, Empire of the Sun or For the People or something like that.
Yep. And I thought about that, like you said with Herman, about thinking of the composition of the deck and what, you know what I mean, like the math of which cards you're likely to see. So and then that led me to say, all right, so you want like half. I wanted like half the cards. Every other card, therefore, more or less should be a card that anybody could take, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah, James, what'd you think?
I really enjoyed that. What I found interesting was there was no part that we were kind of like, wait, this doesn't make sense. So fair play. That's tremendous work has gone into it, but I really enjoyed it. It was maybe a small bit hard parachuting in and kind of trying to figure out, wait, why the hell are my forces stretched along what would be like Dalmatia and things like that? But no, I actually really enjoyed that.
Yeah, good. It takes a minute to get to grips with the actions too. That's all. You know what I mean? Especially when you're playing 2. If you're playing 2 factions too, then it's twice as much. So. See, like in the big turn takes a minute to do, but I personally don't mind it. I think it kind of works, actually. Like, I don't mind having the break when someone else is thinking through what they're going to do, because then I can think about what I want to do next, so.
If nothing else, it lets you detox from your big turn, kind of.
That too, yeah.
I think as well, there's enough in it that, it is representative of the system coin in terms of it has a nice balance of, some of the events, there's a nice quandary between do I take the event now and forego a big go, or as you've seen yourself, James, is a case of, well, I don't want that event 2 cards down the road to fire and hurt me, so do I pass to make sure nobody can take that?
One thing I try to do too is like make the event scale in power as the game moves on. So like by the 8th, like you'll get like this. Oh, this is a good one to draw. This is the one. Free march into Obsequion as if adjacent to every location. This is where the Patriarch called for the crusade to happen, basically. You know what I mean? So, and then in that case, you might be taking more events than primary plus special. You might want the event more into the game, if that makes sense. Kind of roll up in power.
Well, other than a very few unique circumstances this evening, there was no real card that I saw that was like, nobody wants that. But that was only unique circumstances to this specific game. Whereas in a different game, that card might have been the most important thing going, and people would have wanted it. I didn't see any card that I would look at and say that just doesn't interest me under any circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of cards that you look at and you kind of go, yeah, that's not really of use to me now, but you could see where in certain circumstances it might be crucial or it might be, you know, extremely important.
Yep. I think there's a lot of room for negotiation with the cards too. Like
Yeah.
we had it happen a few times. So, and there's only 3 of us playing. I think with 6, it should ramp up even more. You know.
It's a good thing with and it's not coin, but Here I Stand by Ed Beach.
Yes.
A great part. Here I Stand's obviously based around Reformation Europe, with the Reformation happening in Germany with Luther, and you have them players playing the Holy Roman Empire, the English, the French, the papacy, the Ottomans. But a huge part of that is negotiation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And agreements between players, which makes it interesting. This has elements of that. You can see, you know, scenarios where you'd say, you might do a deal to say, well, I won't take this event if you don't attack me here, or you leave Jerusalem alone, or you don't do X, Y, or Z.
Yeah, when your phone died there, James and I were talking. I said, man, I think if I'm the Fatimid here, I'm talking with the Byzantine to think about how do we chop up the Abbasids. You know what I'm saying? With the way the map is right now. Maybe now it's probably more appealing for the Fatimids than the Byzantines, but
yeah, and it's funny because you don't get it like this. The board set up at the start, James, is where the Umayyads are obviously in Syria and around that region as well. So it's kind of an Abbasid Umayyad fight. But like, Umayyads now are pretty much gone. You know what I mean? And they're only really, their power base now is Spain. And okay, Egypt, there's a foothold still in Egypt itself, but the power dynamic kind of has switched in the sense that it's now Abbasids, Fatimids in the Middle East. Like the Byzantines came into Baghdad because the Abbasids basically were on the verge of winning the game, because they had Baghdad, they had Jerusalem, they had Syria. So it's rife for negotiation.
And what I also like is the fact that then who you're negotiating with is going to change from epoch to epoch, at least from what I can see with the leader cards, because as your goals change, you're going to kind of redirect yourself from one area to another, and you're suddenly going to be negotiating with somebody that you were previously at war with, which is again historically accurate as powers would have shifted.
I wondered on the leader cards itself, Phil, is there any, or would there be, or have you thought of this in terms of, I know while they're fixed and they're set, right, and obviously you're going to have, I guess, strategy in terms of, you know, when the Abbasids peak, when the Fatimids are going to peak, etc. Could you have any variability there to say, from an ahistorical point of view, could you have other leaders in there, or could you have something whereby if you hit, you know, a certain level of victory conditions in an epoch, that determined who your leader was for the next, as in you get either a historically good leader or historically poor leader based on your performance.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about having kind of multiple leader cards, but I think it would be fun for sure. So if you look like the Byzantines, this is what I was saying, they have Nicephorus as a leader, but then he's got an event card too. That's the same guy. I spelled him differently. I spelled it differently. The same guy. Pale Death of the Saracens. So like when in these situations where there's a couple, you might have an event card with a guy. This could very well just be he's one leader card and Samiski's is a different one. For sure.
Because the period, the epochs represent what you said, about 50 years.
Yeah. So like the Charlemagne, you know, Charlemagne's the Franks' first leader. Well, he's really a child at the beginning, you know what I mean? So it could be, you could have Pepin and Charlemagne, right? And you could have one or the other. And you could even have it where you picked like which leader you wanted to, you know what I mean? To go.
Yeah, and it might be a case. Yeah, it might be a case that you know, you set a thing whereby there's a certain bar, and if you hit that bar in the epoch, then you get to pick the leader. But if you don't, then I don't know, it's random, or it's you get the poorer of the two.
Yeah. Yep. I'm open for it. It'd be fun, I think, for sure. So There's also a card, the Fatimids, the Order of Assassins. That's like Epoch 8. That's when that started. And so the Fatimid Assassins could kill one of the leaders in the game for Epoch 8. And then so that faction goes down to like a 1/1/1 leader for the rest of the game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's in there, and there's a card where Vinland becomes a victory city for the Norse. Right, so it gives you a reason to push your exploration that way. There's all those. I might try and put more of the like meta type wrinkles like that in, but I really like the idea of having multiple leaders. I think that's cool.
Yeah, well, you could do it either one or two. You could do it a couple of ways, obviously, but whether they're either random or it's a case that you could do it in the sense that if you as a reward for hitting a certain condition on the previous epoch, that you get the better of the two, and if you don't, you get the worse. Or it's a couple of different ways you could do it itself. I'm trying to think from because when you think back to say Fire and Lake in terms of the leader cards and that, the Arvin, that they come out randomly.
Yes.
And while it doesn't massively change things, it does have an impact on certain things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that fits the history too in that game. Because it was kind of a fucking mess, so.
Yeah. That period itself, yeah.
Yeah.
But, I agree, James. As James said, and I said to James earlier on when you were reconnecting, like, I've kind of had the luxury of playing this now 4 or 5 times, maybe 3 or 4 times. So I kind of, I'm a bit further along than him in terms of, having a general idea of what the actions do. Now, kind of part of that is because it obviously is tied to coin anyway. So I kind of, I get that anyway. It's just knowing the mechanics, but it's a good sign, I think, that as James, you said, that you're able to kind of pick it up relatively quick. This, most of the things are relatively mechanically straightforward to understand. It's just obviously learning it in terms of playing more of it to kind of get it.
Yeah. One of my goals, what I like about Coin, how you can just kind of play it off the menu once you get used to it, and I wanted that for this for sure. So you can just have that player, hopefully, once you kind of start playing. And the other thing is you got to make it so, like, if you screw up a rule, it doesn't break the game because nobody's going to play it perfectly. You know what I mean? So you can't have like a game dependent on one mechanic being perfectly applied the whole game. So it just can't be. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So it can't be like too consequential if you screw up. If you muster an extra cube or you forget to pay for a raid or something like that. So,
yeah, enjoyable though.
Cool. All right, so maybe the next couple of weeks we try and keep this one going if that's all right with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, keep us in the loop.
Yeah, I will for sure. I had fun. That was fun. So thanks for playing it with me, guys. A lot of interesting shit was going on, really. So I'm still waiting for the Franks to go after the Umayyads here.
It's kind of like it's nearly like a bit of a Cold War kind of thing on the Frankish Umayyad border. Nothing's really happened, so to speak, but there's a build up.
I think the Normans are interested to see which way that goes, though, because we'll have our eyes on France. So.
Yeah, though I think, to be honest, as the Franks might be in Spain bit earlier, but like there's some slight turmoil in the Frankish Empire with revolts and various things going on. So it's like you can't really. You need to get they need to get their house in order before they can start expanding.
The Byzantines got the Germans to rise up too that turn. So.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how many neutral pieces there were across from Bavaria and Friuli, like. Yeah, and it's one of the nice pieces I like about that is the ability to, and it kind of worked out to a degree for me there in Baghdad with activating neutrals.
That was a good move.
Both there and in the Levant, because you're kind of thinking about, as the opposite player, kind of going, oh, how am I going to get through here? Like there's freaking troops in there, and then you go, oh, hold on, I'll just activate that cylinder and
Climb
shift
off.
them onto the. It's now the Umayyads problem in Egypt.
Yep, exactly. I'll buy the Tulinids off for a while. Yep.
Exactly, yeah. Let them go off and campaign, then march into their backyard basically while they're off doing that. But yeah, enjoyable. But yeah, let us know. And I suppose whenever you want to play again.
Will do. Thanks, guys. So I'll let you go. And if you have thoughts, James, I'll send you a link too. But there's a shared Word document on Drive where you can just type any thoughts or notes or whatever that you have. I'm just trying to keep it in one place.
Perfect.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Excellent. That's great. Good night to you guys, and have a good weekend.
Yeah,
You too. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Nether.
Bye-bye.